YouTube stream, and then it'll load. It seems to do that like every time. It did it again. It worked. It's just annoying that I have to do it that way every time. I say it worked, it's still black screen, but it looks like it's connected to something. Normally it'll just say connecting the stream forever, and it'll say please wait, connecting the stream forever. Unless I go through and then shut it off and turn it back on every time. It's kind of ridiculous. Well, now it's up. Okay, and then let's check and make sure that that is good too. I'm going to unmute YouTube. That is good too. I'm going to unmute YouTube. That is good too. I'm going to. Okay, I can hear the game and I can hear myself. Unmute. All right, I'm gonna mute YouTube now. Okay. Move the chats over here. I'm recording the game. That's good. And so many little moving parts here. All right. And now one additional element that I've now added. So in my Discord, I now have a go live or a went live notification for people that want to follow. Okay, and it seems like it's working. Now my buddies that want to watch can watch if they want to. Oh, cool. Okay. All right, well that takes care of it. So, all right, give me a second to get adjusted on my screen here. I got this. It's always so funny seeing this thing bounce around. This can go away. I don't need this up anymore. Seems like I thought I had two. Oh, there's the other. I see what's going on. I had an internet browser pulled up in here. I'd lost a few of the tabs I'd kept up. Better make sure I don't lose everything right before I really get started here. Let me pull up. Yeah. Looks like I am good to go. Streams are all live. Gamer's recording. OBS is recording. And I can see a file appearing on my drive. Okay. Looks like you're good. Let's get this microphone set up. This thing likes to go up and down on its own sometimes. Anyway, okay. Alright. What's up, guys? The Blue Titan here. I'm back with another episode of The Darkest Dungeon. So, the last time we were here, we just did a regular dungeon. That's actually been the story for the last few games. The reason we're doing that is because we're grinding through and just trying to gather levels as we find our next bosses. So, one of the things I want to take a moment to talk about really quickly is how often bosses appear. It's not actually random when a boss appears at the main location. So, let's look at the map. If you look here, you can see that at the ruins, we have the number 2. When you get to the number 2, you see your first boss at that location. I'm not making any comments about the courtyard or the farmstead. I actually don't know about those two, but I can tell you for sure. I remember from having played the game a few times. Not all the way through. Obviously, if I played the game all the way through, I would know some of the stuff we've been caught up on. There's been definitely a few times where I've been caught. Like, I didn't know that's how that system worked. Quite a few times, actually. But I believe that at any of the core 4 locations that come with the base game, which includes the ruins, the warrens, the weald, and the cove, once you get to level 2 at that location, a boss will appear. I'm not sure if every level after that it does it or it's every 2, but so if we want to find another boss, if we want to add new bosses here, we're going to want to level these up. We want to get the warrens, the weald, and the cove. So that's kind of what we're doing right now. Right now, what we're focused on is just trying to gain levels on our characters, trying to gather some money, and just trying to build up our hamlet. And that's always what we'll kind of go back to. If you've ever watched an anime, we're kind of in the filler arc, right? We're not really doing the major thing right now. We're not dealing with the major bosses. We're out here trying to take care of enemies who aren't really memorable, but it is what strengthens our team. It's what helps us get better at the game. It's what helps us develop strategies and figure out, like, in addition to the strategies we're developing, it lets us figure out, like, you know, what characters we seem to have good versus bad roles on, and, like, you know, it kind of helps us kind of work through those growing pains of the team until we get our team established. And it's also very good, you know, like a lot of games like these kind of roguelike games, early game snowballing really matters. If in the early game, you're able to get out ahead and get a few good items. You can turn that into some extra money, which then can lead to like faster finds of better weaponry and all of that. Now, I will say this. Difficulty-wise, there's the 3 difficulties in the game. There's the, I think it's called Radiant, easiest difficulty, which is like your first time playing the game, you play Radiant. And then we're on Darkest. There's another one below that, which I believe is called Blood Moon. And I think we talked about that in the first episode. And in Blood Moon, the real difference in difficulty isn't like what happens when you go from Radiant to Darkest. From Radiant to Darkest, the enemies get harder and a number of other things happen. But going from Darkest to Blood Moon, a time restriction becomes part of the game too. I think you only have so many weeks before you have to save your ancestors, whatever, before you beat the game, as it were. However you do that, which I've never done. As I said before, I've never even been to the Darkest Dungeon. I don't even know what that is. I know that's the name of the game, but I've never actually been there. And that's one of the reasons why I actually started the series, is because I love this, and I wanted that in-game. I was like, you know what? I like this game. I can introduce some new, some of my friends or other viewers, whoever, to this game. And I've already got a few people that have never tried this game trying it now, which is really cool. But I figured, you guys can see it for the first time for me. All right, you can see it for the first time alongside me when I go to the Darkest Dungeon. But I'm going to work towards that. So I love this game, and I want to kind of, play more of it, and, kind of get better at it. And it's so fun to me. Anyway, if it's not obvious, this game is so fun to me. I could talk about this thing for hours. But let's go ahead and talk about what is available in this week in terms of missions we might want to complete. It's actually a good idea and a good, we'll call it order of operations, I guess, as it were. Maybe that's my math teacher showing in the past. But it's a good idea for you to kind of have a list of things that you do every single time you get back from a dungeon. The way that I usually do it, and it's kind of funny, I've deviated a little bit because I'm streaming here, but usually what I do is I immediately remove all of the trinkets from all of my characters so that nothing weird happens, like they lose them because of something, like a drunken bender, like one of our characters did in the first week. Then I immediately go and look at the map, which I haven't been doing because I've been talking about the mechanics of the game a lot more recently. In the first 5 or 6 episodes, that's what I did. But usually what I would do is I would check the map to see what options are available for the next mission. The reason for that is because whatever mission I want to go do may dictate who I want to bring with me more, and then therefore change who I'm willing to send to have stress relief activities. Whereas what we've been doing in the first few weeks is we would just throw people into stress relief activities because we needed to make sure everybody's stress was as down as far as possible. Now we have a larger roster. We have around 17 people, I think, is what our max is right now. So we actually can optimize a little bit more. We are no longer kind of beholden to whatever we roll character-wise. We have a little bit more agency in who we bring with us. So let's look and see what items we could win if we pick the right place. Like what item are we interested in acquiring? Now, we talked about the disease herb from the Plague Doctor. I don't think it's a bad item, but it's rather defensive. It's not exciting. It's definitely the kind of item I would use if I was going to maybe the courtyard or the Warrens if I was going to bring a Plague Doctor. But again, I think I talked about this in the last episode at the end, and then I said I would come back and talk about it later. I believe so. This item's fine, but it's weird because the two locations that have the most common frequency of disease are the Warrens and the courtyard, different kinds of diseases, of course, whereas the Warrens is hitting you with a multitude of traditional diseases in the game. The courtyard hits you with the Crimson Curse. This would give the Plague Doctor a 40% resistance to all of the disease checks in those levels. The problem is the Plague Doctor doesn't like the Warrens nor the courtyard because the Plague Doctor's focus is blight. And these two locations are heavily focused on blood. Or I guess they're heavily susceptible to bleed debuffs and bleed damage. They are resistant to blight in the case of the courtyard and not so easy to kill with blight in the Warrens. So to me, this item exists in a weird space where it doesn't really have a home. Just from what I've experienced so far. And maybe that'll change. Maybe it's higher difficulties or maybe once you get to higher level or more difficult missions, maybe some enemies have more disease. I don't know. I haven't really run into that so much. All right. Yeah, I remember we did look at this at the end of last video. I talked about the sturdy boots, and I said that the musketeer actually would probably like these because usually I don't like move resistance on characters. There's only a few characters I do, and it's still not the greatest. It's something I don't mind having on some characters, and I flat out don't want to have on some others. Characters that have a movement ability are highly mobile, like the grave robber, right? that character has the ability to move herself around all over the place. Same way with the Highwayman, has the ability to move himself back one or move himself forward one. Characters, or another one would be the Shield Breaker, very, very mobile. These characters, I don't really care so much about having movement resist because they can move themselves back when they need to. And other characters, even like Reynold here as our Crusader, doesn't even really need it because while the Crusader does not have any ability to move backwards, he does have the ability to move forward with Holy Lance. I guess forward one spot. I was thinking 2 spots for a moment. That's not true. But the point is, I don't really like increased movement resistance most of the time because most characters don't care about that. There are a few characters, and I've mentioned a few times if you've been paying attention, I mentioned the Leper as being a character who I don't like to see get moved because the Leper has no real capacity to move himself very fast. To get back, if he has been moved, it just sucks. So getting him moved sucks. But another one, and this is where I was getting at, the Arbalist / Musketeer, who are functionally the same class with just a different, skin, a different, aesthetic to them. They are literally the same class, though, down to the ability. Really quickly, in case you don't know this, the Musketeer was originally gifted to people who pre-ordered the game or who were early supporters, something like that. The Arbalist was given to anybody who got the game after its release. Eventually, they released the designers of this game, as I understand it from what I've seen, because I know I didn't have the Musketeer the first few times I played this game, but now I came back 5 years later, and all of a sudden I did. Apparently, they gave away the Musketeer for free after that, because I never bought that. You can verify that, I could be wrong, but I don't think I bought that DLC. But anyway, the point though is here, the Musketeer having plus 30% move resist is not bad, because this character wants to be like in the very back slot. Maybe the third slot could be okay. This character really wants to be in the back. Same with Arbalist. The Arbalist is using like a crossbow, like a strong compound crossbow. The Musketeer is using a long blunderbuss or whatever. So both of them want to be far in the back. Same way as the Leper wants to be very far in the front. So this item isn't that bad for the move resist part. It's not useless on this character. I say that because that's the floor, or I guess the ceiling for me of move resist is it's okay. The floor is terrible. But plus 30% move skill chance. Now, we didn't really talk about what that means on a Musketeer or an Arbalist, but I don't think I have that character with me, so I can't show it right now. I believe the character has the ability to like throw at a net or do something that can move 1 or 2 people, kind of like the flashbang grenade that the bounty hunter has. So this is an interesting item. I don't think it's good, but it's interesting. The ability to increase the chance of moving the characters around, it might have some play. I don't know. But I'm not excited about it because I don't have a Musketeer, so it's kind of hard to get excited about that. Now, that might change if we go look in the stagecoach in a minute, which I've noticed in my videos for watching them. I sometimes call it cart, but the stagecoach is the accurate term. All right, so let's look and see what else we have here. We've got the Bleeding Pendant, which is a good item, but we already have one. Bleeding Pendant already here, so we won't be going after that if we can avoid it. Again, this location, most of the time, we don't really care what the reward is the first time. Because we're not going to finish. This is an epic mission. An epic mission is a mission that is extremely long, right? In the base game, there are in the base game, there's only 3 mission links. There's short, there's medium, and there's long. Pretty boring. But then with the introduction of the courtyard, Epic was added. Epic quests are extremely long missions. Think of like a short mission, a medium mission, a long mission, and then an epic one is like way longer than a long mission. It's usually meant to be consumed in like 2 or 3 or 4 missions. Depends on how efficient you are, how well you know the map, if you've done it before. If you're cheating, you can look up maps for it. And here's another thing to know about that. This is a key part. The courtyard, if you ever feel stumped when you're on the courtyard, every other location in this game is randomly generated. The courtyard is not. And I don't mean every location in the courtyard. I mean the blood quest, like the quest that involves progressing the main story. Any missions where you're gathering the blood, that's randomly generated. But where it says morbid entertainment or whatever mission it is that's not gathering the blood at the courtyard will have a static map that you can look up. There's like 4 or 5 of them. I encourage you not to look them up. The first time I didn't, and I got my ass whooped. It was fun, but all right. Oh, hey, first time chatter. Epic missions feel like 3 long missions to me. Yeah. Hey, I appreciate the comment, man. I got to remember to look at the chat here sometimes. I'm still kind of getting used to that. So Well, thank you. Welcome. I appreciate the comment. Have you been playing Darkest Dungeon a while? Because honestly, I played this game like 10 years ago, and I think it came out in 2016. Man, time flies. And then I put it down for about 2 or 3 years, and then I came back just because I got a hankering to play the game. I mean, it's a good game, you know. Off and on for 10 years. Yeah, okay, I am not crazy. It is 10 years. That's what I thought. Yeah, so I don't know all the ins and outs of the game. You know, I know enough about specific pockets because you know how a person is. Everybody finds a character or a class they seem to like, and then they want to play it and push that class nonstop. So I know a decent amount about some things, but I still make a lot of mistakes. And that's kind of what this whole thing is about. I had made it decently far into the game, you know, maybe like a boss or two into the game for like every like location. And then at some point I was like, you know what? I'm going to switch over and I'm going to play another class, or I'm going to play another playthrough because I was like, I could probably do it better the second time around. And then I just stopped playing for a while, and that was years ago. And then I kind of got a desire to play the game again. I was like, I'm going to get back on here and try it again. And I was having fun. And then something triggered, and I was like, whoa, I could probably record some videos for this because I know a decent amount. And I also, you know, had a YouTube channel that I was kind of trying to get going again. I thought, what better way to kind of get back at this? So anyway, that's a lot behind the curtain. Anyway, back to the kind of what I'm doing here. Like my thought process here is probably to try to get the Warrens or the Cove or the Weald up to one more level here because we just defeated the Apprentice Necromancer. And we also defeated a Crocodilian over the courtyard. Right now, over on the left side, we see the infestation is low from the courtyard, so I'm not super worried about dealing with that right now. We could go there. We've got a few people with the Crimson Curse, not a lot, but we did release a few people who are that way. Yeah, the Cove has a nice roaming boss in it. Yeah, see, like this, I've kind of talked about this a bit. I'm not against going to this location, but I usually try to avoid the thing from the stars unless I have people who are at that mission's difficulty at the highest. So at the Cove, like, let's say you only have, you know, level 0 guys, and then you're at a level 1, or I guess an apprentice level mission. I try not to bring 4 level 0s. I'm going to try to bring some guys that have had a little bit of experience that way, you know. I think it's so fun to fight because the rewards are worth it, but agreed. Yeah, I think the thing about that enemy is, while it's, I think I do need to get some higher levels in gear, and that's kind of been my experience too. I think for the thing from the stars, most of the time what you want to do is you want to make sure that you have a character who has the ability to clear a lot of dudes with a lot of damage. Maybe like a highwayman, or maybe even like a grave robber, so that she can use pick to the face and just deal straight damage to the little like, I don't know what they are. I think they're like little like tentacles that the thing makes. I hope I'm not mixing it up with the or what's its name? I forget its name. The thing that you run into inside of a portal that you use the torch on. I forget its name. But anyway, I know that the Shambler. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So like honestly, for me, I usually look at having a character who has some kind of an ability that lets you either do armor piercing, because I think the thing from the stars, if memory serves, once it gets, it kind of has like the like that Dark Souls kind of, once it gets past like 50% health, it becomes more robust and more annoying. I think it gets a protection upgrade. It's like absurd, like 50% or something at the lowest level, something like that. And so yeah, it has a mythic stage. Yeah. So what I try to do, if I can, is make sure that if I'm going to go to a place that actually has a thing from the stars, I'm not playing around. I'm going to bring an extra, few guys who are over leveled for the location or about to cross over to the next tier, and I try to make sure that I have at least 2 guys in the team that I can reliably deal DPS to it, and probably either a healer or somebody who can deal with stress, because if I recall, and I mean in this playthrough I haven't played against the thing from the stars. It's been a few years. I believe the thing from the stars has some really strong and annoying stress effects, and is also very, very not immune, but has the ability to kind of like shed his status effects. I think at the end of every round or the beginning of every round or something like that, he gets rid of all the blight, all of the bleed, all the stacks of nonsense on him. Yeah, so I just try to avoid that character early if I can, until I have some people who I want to bring, because you got to remember, you're never going to know when you're going to run into it. I mean, yes, I see it on the screen. I know I could go to that location and I could run into it, but you might not. As it says, the thing from the stars roams here this week. You might encounter it. Now, the thing about it is you don't know where it'll be. It'll, if you, let's say, did a scout of the entire map and you got lucky and you saw a full scout of the entire location, you'll see all the little battle signs, but there's no indicator that tells you that battle that's in that hallway, which I believe the thing from the stars always appears in a hallway, though, if memory serves too. Maybe not on that one. But you won't know if there's a battle in a hallway, whether it's just a random battle or if it's actually a battle that's a big deal. Or, I guess... Yeah, when I say a big deal, I mean to say the thing from the stars. But anyway, so I try to kind of avoid it unless I have a real plan. And that might sound kind of like not so exciting, but it's like I'm not really here for the... I just want to make sure my guys survive. That's what I'm about, right? But I do want to go do it, though. And that's a key thing, too. This character, and then also, which was mentioned by... it looks like... I want to say this name correctly. Magnus Lehan? I want to say your name right. I apologize if I'm saying it incorrectly. Magnus Lehan. Okay, cool. Okay. I appreciate you joining. Magnus, I appreciate you joining. But yeah, so what I usually... Like, a second ago, Magnus had mentioned that there was a character named the Shambler. The Shambler is, like, not a joke at all. He's like, you know, whereas the thing from the stars is like it can be a tough boss, it can be a tough fight, depends on the situation. If you're prepared, you have the ability to deal with stress, you have the ability to deal armor piercing, you know, you can take it out. And in some situations, you could get it to half health before it even gets a chance to get through 2 rounds. You can really mess it up. The Shambler, if you're not prepared, will just tear you up. The first wipe I ever had was against a Shambler, and I remember being scarred. I was like, whoa, like, this game's not joking. It's okay. And yeah, so it's definitely a hazing first boss, and it's a key thing about it is it's not a boss that it kind of reminds me of old JRPG games like Final Fantasy games. It's not the boss that you must fight that's the most challenging. It's the one that you can choose to. And that's the same thing with the Shambler. That'd be my experience. I don't know about you, Magnus, but I think that's what I would say. Like, in my experience, the Shambler's not a joke. So I try to avoid that one early on as well, unless I'm really in a good position. I'm like either at the end of the mission or like at the beginning of the mission, and I know that afterwards I have a long time to deal with it, or like the extra stress and all the other stuff that happens. This goes for either the Shambler or the thing from the stars. I want to be in a situation where I know at any given time if I run into it, I can handle it. But that's the thing about the thing from the stars. You can go hunting it because you'll know where it is. I know right now that it's in the cove and I can go after it, but I don't know where the Shambler's going to appear. The Shambler's just going to have a random portal appear in some hallway, and if I have a torch, I can do the mission, and it doesn't care whether or not I'm ready or not. It just... So... But there is also an upside to it, though, too. The Shambler has some insane items. If I recall, I think you have access... There was, like, super rare items in the game that are, like, ancestral items that your ancestor drops. And they're, like, better than... Like, in a few episodes ago, I think we got our first very rare drop, which was the Sacred Scroll for the Vestal. And, you know, the ancestral items are, like, a tier above this. I don't know what I would classify the Crimson Court items. They're kind of like a whole unique thing. They're like a promo, like card games. You think of like common, uncommon, rare, mythic. Like these things are like promos. I don't even know where you'd stratify them. Some of them are really strong. Some of them are just honestly hot garbage. But anyway, it's kind of fun to collect them though either way. Oh yeah, trinkets. Yeah. Shambler does have certain trinkets that you can... Oh, you're correcting yourself, not me. Either way, that's cool, yeah. But yeah, you can't get anywhere else. Oh yeah, well I think when I fought the Shambler, I thought it dropped like the Ancestor's Candle or something like that, which was... And I don't know if that is the Shambler item. But yeah, but yes, there are definitely... It is very much so. If you can kill a Shambler early, you can get an item. Sometimes you can get 1 or 2 different items, not from that same drop. But if you can kill a few early Shamblers, which is not an easy ask, but you can get some really powerful, snowbally early items that can just carry you for the whole game, almost all the way to like all your dudes are level 6, and you're just slotting that item on the same dudes every single run. Because I think that last time I played, and this has been a while, like I said, but I think I actually had the Ancestor's Candle, and it was insane. Now, I'm not saying it's the best item in the game, but it was way better than the random stuff you started with, so... Yeah, the ancestor item that matters is the map. Yeah, so I think I had the map one. I think if I remember that increases like your chance of like scouting by like 40 or 50% or something like that. I think I did get that in the last playthrough, but I didn't use it because I was newer to the game, so... Okay, so we're gonna look at this. Okay, I'm not hallucinating. 25% scouting chance. All right. Okay, so looking at these here, I think last time we were here we were talking about the items that have dropped here, and I think in my experience, just kind of looking at what's here, again, I'm not going to go through this mission right now because this estate map, or this morbid entertainment mission, this epic one for the veteran, or I guess this epic veteran mission, it doesn't matter what the drop is. This is a epic mission where we have to continue to go back to it. So whatever we see here as a reward is kind of just teasing us. We're not going to get it. We really want to go there and then just do a mission whenever we get the chance to. And then if we see, like the second time, maybe the third time, if we think we're going to beat it on the second or third time, that's when we see an item that we like, then we go after it then. So the first time, whatever's there, you just basically assume I'm not going to get it anyway. But then looking at these other items, or these other slots here, as I said, we already have a bleeding... Yeah, just got holy orders from the necromancer fight. That's funny. Yeah, so like the bleeding pendant is definitely an item that we like, but we already have one. I'm a fan of that item. Again, it's not an incredible item. It's a common. We're talking about common items. We're not comparing it to the best stuff. But I like it. I think it's good. The extra bleed on a Hellion is not terrible. And then this item I actually do like. I like the Eldritch Slayer's Ring because I mean extra damage to Eldritch as a perk on characters. I'm a big fan of because there's so many enemies. But that actually are Eldritch, so I think having an item that actually does that is pretty solid. I know the minus 8 dodge kind of looks bad, but I don't know. I'm not as bothered by losing a little bit of dodge for such a huge damage steroid against the right enemy, especially like I was talking earlier. If you're going on a hunt to catch this thing from the stars, the thing from the stars is Eldritch. So you can just slam 4 copies of this Eldritch Slayer's Ring on your whole crew and go out there and just start hammering them. You bring a crew that I think he has abilities that hit everybody too. So if you bring a whole team that everybody's loaded with repost, you can just let him kill himself by swinging at you. So you can actually do some pretty cool stuff with that. Looking at the other items that are here, though, as I said, I'm not really turned on by any of these items outside. I do think the Eldritch Killing Incense is not a bad item. Extra crit against Eldritch, extra 15% damage against Eldritch. I mean, that's what you're doing if you're playing this class. I mean, if you're using an Occultist, if you're out actually using him as some kind of damage dealer. Now, traditionally, this character is not really a damage dealer. You're playing this class for support. He's an aggressive support as opposed to a defensive support like the Vestal. But I do believe that, you can really do some damage to somebody if you were to have, the Abyssal Artillery and have him in the back supporting while having him loaded up with the Killing Incense here and the ring we were just talking about here, the Eldritch Slayer's Ring. But generally speaking, if you're rolling with this guy as a damage dealer, that's like a way of playing him I haven't really explored too much. Most of the time when I play this guy, I play him more as an aggressive, like an offensive support where I'm just weakening the heck out of people. Yeah, I could definitely see why you would want to make him an actual damage dealer against specifically Eldritch. I mean, the plus 15% damage to Eldritch as just a flat modifier is pretty crazy. And it's only a minus 33% damage modifier when it hits 2 targets anyways. Then you add on that plus 15% damage to Eldritch, he's almost dealing full damage to 2 targets if they're Eldritch. And then you stack on top of that these bonuses that you can get on it. I could definitely see him being the guy you want to deal some damage in the back line. Maybe bring like a Jester or like a Vestal or somebody to support him while he's dealing damage in the 3rd slot, something like that. But looking at the other items that are here, I was thinking about this earlier. We had talked about maybe doing Silence in the Crypts. It's not required. It's not really something that we need to do right now because Silence in the Crypts, if I recall correctly, is the one that makes it so that like the next mission that you do. So you got to watch out for these. If you're playing this game for the first time and you don't really understand, a lot of things that are on here, sometimes we've seen already that sometimes the thing that happened last week can affect the next thing, which, I mean, it's a legacy game, right? That's what it is. But sometimes the thing that happened just last week really affects the next week more than the whole campaign. So these town events, we talked about this before, but the reason we did the Town as a Buzz and we went over here and beat the Crocodilian was because our first 5 or 6 or 7 weeks, we kept getting blocked from having a normal town event trigger because the Town is a Buzz. But we've now got rid of that, and now we actually have the ability to force trigger some town events by doing certain missions like this, like the town event, the Silence in the Crypts. Silence in the Crypts is pretty solid because it gives you, if I recall correctly, I think it increases or decreases your stress. Something else too. Magnus got me as well. More XP, less stress. Okay, yeah, something like that, yeah. But it will work only in that location, right? So if you have one of these missions, now it's not gonna call it Silence in the Ruins and Silence in the Warrens and Silence in the Cove and Silence in the Weald. It's not that direct, but there's an analogous similar mission, or I guess town event, that can trigger if you complete a mission that has this icon, not the color, but that icon, whether it be green, whether it be this orange kind of amber ochre color, and then like there's the red ones too, although this is like a deeper red because this is like for darkest, not like the harder, not for the level 5 people, but like level 6s or whatever you want to call that. I want to say like their level, whatever, it doesn't matter. But the point though here is this icon will tell you that if you do it, a town event will trigger the next week so long as you're successful in this week. Is it worth doing? Yeah, sometimes. In this case, no, not really. Well, why? Well, because I usually try to use this as I'm not saying it's not useful at all, but what I'm saying is most of the time when I use this mission or I try to look out for one of these, I try to use one of these missions when I know I have a boss fight ready the next week there. So what I'll do is I'll go in there with my B team or a team who's not really optimized for the ruins, or some people who can do okay in the ruins, whatever. Once you get to a longer roster, you can kind of run with whatever you want. But my A-team people who I want to beat that boss, I'll kind of keep them on the bench for that week, and then I'll bring another group of guys in there, sweep this mission that unlocks Silence in the Crypts. And then the next week, I'll go in there with my A squad. They're going to get an extra 15%, like whatever the percentages are. They're going to have an extra steroid for the whole mission, and it's just going to help you push over the top and get that extra oomph you need in order to take out that boss at that location. So... but anyway, I'm going to go ahead and try to pick a location that we're going to do this week. And I think, for me, I do like the Eldritch Killing Incense. I'm a little hesitant to go there because I don't know if I really have a team that's ready to beat this guy. Most of my guys, ironically, are either over-leveled, I got 3 3s here, or I've got a single 2 who's not even with us this week. Yeah, I'm going to skip him this week. I'm going to wait till I have at least 2 level 2s to bring with us, so he's out, even though I do like this Killing Incense here. I could do... Oh, this does put us in a serious pickle, though. So something I hinted at that I haven't given away in any of the videos yet, but on YouTube here, but I'm just going to say is something that you should watch out for. You might be screaming at your stream or at your TV or your computer or whatever you're watching this on. You might be screaming, well, why not just go do one of these missions and go get that Eldritch Slayer's Ring? Well, I can. But if I recall correctly, if I bring 2 level 3s here, these 3 level 3s, whatever, 2 of these guys have the Crimson Curse, and we haven't seen this yet, but I believe there's like a crazy cultist dude that comes after you for that. And I don't want to spoil it yet, so I'm not going to say his name, but I know that there's a guy that'll hunt you down if you have 2 people, at least 2, with you that have the Crimson Curse. And if every additional person you bring, I think it like makes it worse too. So there's a chance he might trigger, although... he might not come after you if you've never triggered him yet. I don't know if you need... I don't know. Maybe that might be just worth going to do anyways, just to see if it triggers. I don't know. Because if I recall correctly... No, I remember there is an event. There's like a load screen that warns you and says, hey, this guy might be roaming that location, but I don't know if it triggers the first time and warns you ahead of time. Because I'm looking here and I know... You remember how when we had the Town is a Buzz event and this little tree stump monolith, ancestor, I'm guessing it's like not a mausoleum, but like a tomb or like a memory stone here, like to represent, that your ancestor had died there. Oh, I don't know what this is. This is Ancestors' Memoirs, but I don't know what the physical object is here. And unfortunately, like I said before, you can't see my mouse because Darkest Dungeon has some issues with, the UI, and you either have your mouse be off or you just don't show it, whatever. So that's what we've gone for. But if you look here at this stone statue thing, during the Town is a Buzz, it was surrounded by like blood and like mosquitoes, and it was an obvious indicator that there was an event going on that week. And I know that I remember some creepy dude standing by this at one point, and I think it's the guy I'm talking about, the guy that hunts you, and he's not there, which makes me think he's not after us. I don't know. I might get wiped, but we're gonna go for it anyways. Yeah, but it warns you if it happens. Are you talking about that guy? Maybe you're talking about that guy. Maybe so. Maybe it'll warn us if it happens. That's okay. But either way, I do think I'm gonna go to that location because, I do think I want to go and try to get this Eldritch Slayer's Ring. Do I think we need it right now? No, but I'm gonna be happy when we do need it. just having this in our back pocket at some point, we're going to be happy that we have, you know, we get some character who can be our base damage dealer, and they're just dealing an extra 1 damage on top of their normal 4. For every 4 damage, they deal an extra 1. That matters, and that can really add up, especially if you have a character who is, you know, somebody like the Highwayman who's, you know, hitting 3 targets. That can really start to add up damage-wise. And if they have, like, repost or something like that, it can really start to matter. But that said, I'm going to look real quick at the Nomad Wagon. That's where we're going to go. We're going to look at the Nomad Wagon here. Oh, Blasphemous Vial. That's a rare item. If I recall correctly, I think this item is insane. I think this is a really good item. Okay, see, the thing about the Plague Doctor is the Plague Doctor's whole shtick is blight and stun, and blight and stun. And as the game progresses, that's the bread and butter of this character. The extra 25% stress, if you're newer to the game and, you know, you've been, let's say, you've been kind of like scarred by a bad stress experience, early game stress really sucks, but as the game goes on, there are a lot more mechanisms that we can fight it with, so don't let that 25% thing really, you know, turn you off too much. Extra 10 accuracy is great. Especially as enemies get worse, because they're going to start having higher base dodge, and then if there's like a darkness, if the more dark it is, the higher the chance of missing. So we always love the extra accuracy. That's why we spent probably 5 minutes explaining why, in a previous video, why the yips is such a bad quirk when you get it, and how bad that feels. So that's good. And then the plus 20% stun and plus 20% blight. I don't know, guys. I think this might be worth just picking up. We've been saving our money pretty consistently and not buying almost anything, and when I see an item like this, I think to myself, like, yeah, it's a pretty solid item to pick up. The Dark Crown, minus 25% stress if torch is below 26. At some point I want to play that way. I want to do like a challenge or something like that where I just play, you know, I don't know, like play the game through with the torch always at 0 and just see what we can get away with. I just think it'd be a cool challenge run. Do like a let's play where it's like, all right, we're just gonna play the game and we're always going to have the torch out. I just think that'd be interesting. Seems like it would be rough, but it might be fun. But yeah, I mean, no guts, no glory. If you play with no lights on, it's going to be a little hard. You're going to stub your toe a few times on the wall. So, you know, but then looking at the damage stone's solid too. Plus 10% is fine. Dodge at the cost of 4 dodge. We don't care about that. This is a solid item too. This might be worth picking up too. Let's see if we can't lower the cost of Nomad purchases. Yeah, we have one more to do. So if we spend our 28 out of our 30 trinkets here, we can get that Blasphemous Vial to the lowest price we'll ever see at, which is
an increasing stockpile of curious trinkets gathered from forbidden places.
I don't regret that at all. I mean, as I've talked about the hierarchy of like investing in your let's just say your campaign quite a few times, and I've said that my first thing that I always want to invest in is the hamlet itself, because your characters come and go. Characters they're resources, guys. They die, but if you invest some money in something in your town, it's there forever, right? You can't, your hamlet can't die. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and buy this Blasphemous Vial, because I think I will probably slot this every game I play with the Plague Doctor moving forward, period. I just think it's incredible. That's a lot of money. And I get it, it's a lot of money, but that's where you save a little bit of money for those purchases. Now, looking at these other ones, I do think I'm going to pick up the Damage Stone. Like, I wouldn't buy this if I had even one, but I don't have one, and I actually think it's a solid common item. It slots on everybody that's a damage dealer. Minus 4 dodge, I don't really care too much about. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know anything about that, Magnus, so I guess that now you're making me worry, so I'm going to keep that from the chat, though, because the people that are in the video aren't going to know that. So that's interesting. I hope that doesn't happen to us. ... Foreshadowing. Okay, we got common. I do like the accuracy stone too, but as you can kind of see here, look at this. Plus 4 accuracy, minus 1 speed versus this item that admittedly is it's a very rare item, admittedly. Oops. Yeah, we do it unequipped. I think I already did that, though. But look at that accuracy stone. Plus 4 and minus 1 speed, plus 4 accuracy, and this thing's given plus 10 accuracy, plus a bunch of other stuff, and then, you know, a piddling little plus 25% stress. That's not a joke, but this item's obviously much better. Now, I know that I'm not comparing apples to apples here, because we're talking a common item versus something that's 3 tiers above that, but we've also had conversations about how, looking at the bag of marbles, this gives plus 10 dodge, and then there's like a stone of dodging or something like that, or dodge stone, and it gives like plus 4 and minus 1 speed, plus 4 dodge. So class-specific items are always going to be better. on that class than a generic item on that class. That's just how it is. But the thing is, a damage stone is going to be something that could probably hold us over when we have nothing better to pick, right? Because look at this. Damage stone gives plus 10% -4 dodge, plus 10% damage, -4 dodge. But if you look at the Crusader's item, plus 10% damage to melee skills, that is pretty much all he does. So it's functionally the same on that first bar. And then minus 50% on healing skills. Well, he does have the ability to heal. But if you have a character on your team like the Vestal or the Arbalist / Musketeer or the I don't think the Houndmaster can heal teammates. I think he can only lick his own wounds. But I do know that you can obviously heal with the Occultist, or you can heal with the Flagellant. If you have any of those characters, they can kind of be your healer or off healer, and then you can just relinquish, or I guess remove the responsibility of healing from the Crusader. And then at that point, this downside isn't even irrelevant. It's just flavor text. It doesn't matter. So I do think that it's worth, obviously investing in items that are specific to, characters that are from that class. But anyway, the other thing you might notice, you'll see in here, I do still have these additional items here that are like duplicates. I'm never going to need 2 Paralyzer's Crests, nor am I going to need 2 Swordsman's Crest or 2 Witch's Vials. The only reason I'm keeping them right now is because I know once I actually, I'm keeping them as like a essentially, what do I want to say? Instead of like keeping currency around, I'm keeping gold. I can sell these when I need to, when I'm in a pinch and I really need money. If I accidentally go a little too hard and sell something and I get below a certain threshold and I'm like, man, we don't have enough money to buy provisions, then I can be like, oh, right, I can sell an item and I can make up for that loss. Plus, if any of you are wondering, those of you who played this game before, you might be like, but you're missing out on percentage gain off of the bank. We're not there yet, guys. I don't have the bank, so I'm not gaining percentages, or I'm not leaving money on the table, so. I just got Town Fair. Oh, nice. It's been a while since I don't remember what the Town Fair is. Is that the one that makes like the sanitarium? The Town Fair is like a really rare thing. I think it only like triggers once a campaign or something. Is that right? I know there's one that like makes the sanitarium a treatment like for free or something. All treatments in town. There you go. All treatments in town are free. Yeah. And that's something I've talked about too in this game, that I wish this game does a very good job UI wise of teaching you things. Like, I love when you run into something and you use an item on a curio, and then it from then on remembers how your last interaction with that curio worked. That I think is good game design, because it basically like encodes your experience into the game and doesn't treat you stupid. It's like, well, you have to experience it first, you have to learn from pain, but then we're not going to punish you over and over for it. But then, on the other hand, it doesn't keep track of, once you've had like a random town event trigger, to me, I think it should just, in the UI, tell you what that town event does. So like, for example, if the very first time we do the Silence in the Crypts, it doesn't tell us what it does, okay, we've never done that. We've never had it trigger. But once it has, I feel like we should be able to just hover above it and it tells you. But anyway, that's just a personal opinion. Like I said, I don't really complain about games unless I like the game, because I'm not playing the game if I don't like it. So I'm playing this game, clearly I like it. But if I were to add some form of criticism to the design of this game, the only thing I could say, the only few things about this game that I think I would fix, a few things like that, maybe like the whole, sometimes you walk across traps and you get hit by a trap that was invisible. Now I understand some traps you can find and you can see them on the map, and particularly at the courtyard, traps are a little harder to see at the courtyard than they are at other locations. But there are traps that you run into that just trigger, and they are never, there's no visual cue to let you know they were there. I don't like that, because I don't like not having agency. That just feels like an unfair stat check, but whatever. Otherwise, I think the game's incredible, so let's look at something. Oh, there's another item in here we need to look at. Well, we're not going to do the farmstead here because we'd have to go kill the miller. And in order to kill the miller, we need to have some... This is a boss fight, right? And this is a level 3 boss fight. So I'd like to get my guys, 3 guys level 4. Maybe all 4 of them level 4 to go do that. But the Solar Crown's pretty interesting. Minus 20% stress if your torch is above 75. Solid. Solid. Particularly against certain enemies. Some bosses really love to inflict stress over damage. And items like this can make a difference. So, but yeah, we already made a commit. We're gonna do this Eldritch Slayer's Ring here. We're gonna bring our guys, our 3 level 3s here, and then maybe some level 2 and get them some extra experience. We might not actually have another level 2. Oh my, Adony's gone. I don't even know if we can bring somebody that's level 1. No, we can. Sometimes they complain and they don't like that. we'll just have to pay extra careful attention to that character because they're going to get picked on. Let's see what we have in here. Slugger minus or plus 10% damage to melee skills on a musketeer is about like rolling the ability to breathe underwater when you're on a planet with no water. This my analogy is this character has only ranged attacks. It's unfortunate. Ruins Phobe. That's not good. I mean, there's much worse quirks, but also not good. Not very impressed by this character. I mean, we don't have one, so it might be worth taking just for that. But there will be other people that come and go. I don't really care about this character. Our other characters in our team actually have quirks that aren't worthless. So, Last Gasp. I don't really like quirks that trigger for having played wrong, right? This quirk says, when your character's health is low, he gets stronger. It's like, well, I'd rather just keep him above health and have some quirk that, snowballs, like, Warrior of the Light. Nocturnal, again, same kind of argument. I don't want to go low on light for no reason. Although it's kind of funny. He gets stronger when he's close to death, or like when the lights are low and when he's, when he's close to death. It's funny. He's like a lock-in kind of guy. We already have this class. We don't need it. I do wish we had a musketeer, but I don't think we really need to take one. We already have some people. I think we're fine. Yeah, so we're going to ignore the stagecoach for the week. I think we had a town event triggered this week. I want to check and see what it was. Noisy repairs, indeed. Oh, right. So in our Abbey, we can't use the lowest tier of stress relief. Yeah, so if we're going to stress relieve anybody, let me really quickly pull everybody out of my team real quick. We're going to take off here in just a second here. I've talked quite a while here. I think part of that was just me, but part of that was also having a person in the chat that I could talk to, which is kind of funny. But I'm going to go really quickly here. Sort by stress, or I guess by level probably. No, I think all of our guys are fine. We don't have a single person above 50 stress. Yeah, we can just go. Yeah, that's actually good because that means we don't have to waste time with the Abbey. Maybe we take a second to lock a quirk in somebody while we can. Let me see if I can actually lower the cost of it. Nah, I'll wait. I don't need to start locking quirks so much right now. I'm not too bothered by that. I think I'd rather start worried about increasing the size of our recruiting first. Save some of our, I always say this incorrectly, it's not sigils, oh yeah, crests. Save some of our crests and our deeds so we can start doing this and not spend any more money on that kind of stuff. We blew a huge amount of money just now anyway, so. All right. Now let's go ahead and get on in here, go do this mission, try to go get that Eldritch Slayer's ring here. We will bring Reynold, we will bring Dismas. Dismas will go in slot 2. We will bring Romay. I think I might put Romay in slot 4 here, or 3. Depends on what I do with this extra person here, because I would like to bring at least a level 1, not a level 2. Or not a level 0, I mean. Centerpont is cool. Actually, Centerpont might be the exact thing we should bring. Because Centerpont, I could give her, because she's level 1 and she's weaker than everybody in the team, I could constantly, use Shadow Fade at the start of the fight to pull a little pressure off of her, and then she'll do a large amount of damage, and essentially it'll give her relief once every single fight. She won't get targeted if she goes first, and she likely will because she's got hot, well, I guess that's not speed, but she has Luminous. This is the only character I talked about before, how I wanted to keep one character kind of in our back pocket protected, that's kind of leveled up. I usually try to pick like one character and just pour a bunch of resources into locking their best quirks and all those things, and I do that because as characters come and go and phase out, die, I release them because of high stress. They have, a number of quirks that suck, or maybe they have the Crimson Curse. I usually like to have at least 1, maybe 2 that I'm kind of sneakily working onto the back, so that over time our roster slowly emerges as good, and we have a few core guys that just have really good quirks as time goes on. You could slowly level everybody up and then give everybody a little bit of love, and that's fine, but I feel like it's much easier to just release somebody and only pick and level up the characters who have really good starting points. Like, I don't like to pick a person to lock quirks until I know for sure that they have at least 2 good, I mean good quirks. And Hot Trot and Luminous are right up there, so I just can remove Locked Klepto from Reynold for free. Wait, what? Why would that be the case? Agnes says we can remove the... that is what my event let me do. Oh yeah, you're talking about the town fair. Yeah, I'm jealous. All right, Magnus. No, okay, alright. No, rub it in. I would like to get rid of Klepto, though, dude, for real. I hate that. Okay. Oh, yeah, before we take off, we should definitely maximize our characters' abilities while we can. I think we're pretty good on their basic abilities. I don't think we really need to worry about anything here. This is all fine. Our heals are all leveled. Okay, we don't have to spend any money there, which is nice. Let's see if we can level up anybody's regalia, armor, whatever the word is that the folks say nowadays. I think regalia is a very weird word to use there, but it's just the first one that came into my mind. All right, we're ready. We're out of here. We're done. We've been talking for quite a while. I have a tendency to do this. I think before every single one of these missions, every single video I've done so far, I usually have like about 40 or so minutes of preamble. That's okay. I've been consistent with it. It makes the trimmed videos on my regular YouTube channel, where I make them only, about 10 to 15 minutes. It makes those a lot more watertight and easier to edit, so that's okay. All right, let's go on in here. We're going to go and try to get this Eldritch ring. We're going to ring center blunt. I'll put her in slots. Does she have... This goes back 2, right? Yeah, so since she's here, I'll put her up front, because as soon as the fight starts, she's going to go back 2. I guess it's semantics, because if I put her here, she's still going to go behind the highwayman. It doesn't actually matter at all, does it? It doesn't. And I guess having her in the 3rd slot actually is probably better, because I don't know this to be a fact, but I'm basing this entirely off of my experience with old Final Fantasy games. Usually characters that are in like the back 2 slots take less damage than the people in the front 2 slots. And I don't know if that's like actually a stat built into the game, or if there's a focus. And I mean, but I do know that there are some abilities that can only hit the front 2 rows, so that already enough is a good argument to justify having her in the second to last slot. So yeah, that's fine. Now let's pick our items. We know that we usually have Reynold just be a stun bot, because we got really lucky early and we found a Paralyzer's Crest and simultaneously a Dazzling Charm. Now remember, if you're following along and you're playing as well and you have a similar thing, don't make the mistake I made that one time where I found the Stun Charm and thought the Stun Charm was just a strictly better version of the Dazzling Charm, because apparently I'm an American and I was in the American education system and I can't read. So this says plus 20% stun resist, not 20% stun chance. Don't put the wrong item on your character, folks. Now you could make the argument that the surgical gloves are okay on him too. I mean, extra crit on melee skills is pretty solid. But the thing is, the second I choose to make him our stunner, I've now committed to making him our stunner. It doesn't make sense to put more into his damage, because that's not what he's doing for us. I'm not going to split what this character's doing. He's going to be our stun guy, or he's not. Well, actually, I say that. What is his base stun on that ability? 110% base. We're at a level 3 mission. We're going to the Warrens. I don't think there's that many people here who have high stun resist. I mean, obviously, if we run into some Crimson Court, head crab looking dudes, that'll suck. But an extra 10%, would I rather have an extra 10% stun chance on that character? Or would I rather have... I think I would rather have this surgical gloves. Because remember, it says minus 20% move resist, and you might think, well, he's going to get knocked in the back. We gave him Holy Lance, which moves him forward a slot. He'll be fine. We have 3 characters on our team that move themselves around. We're not going to have trouble with location. We can bring that. Oh, I got rid of Reynold. Come back. Yeah, I'm going to give him that item. And then after that, let's go ahead and look at our Highwaymen. Now, we did roll the Sharpening Sheath with the Highwaymen, and this might be worth giving him like more of a melee focus right now, which is kind of what I have. I think I had this as a layover from when we fought against the Crocodilian. It might actually be worth having him just be another... Can he attack from the 3rd slot? He can, and with all of these abilities. Yeah, let's just have him be a melee-focused version of himself this fight. And then we can give him this Sharpening Sheath. Now, we do have a few other items that we could use on him, right, that would make him fine at range, but there's no reason we don't have to, especially since we have this rare item that's doing some good stuff here. Plus 7% crit to his melee skills. I mean, and then you add on top of that, we can give him the Highwayman's Stalwart Buckle, plus 5% crit. Okay, let's do some math here real quick. Plus 5% crit, plus 7% crit, and then this ability has just a base crit of plus 1%. Plus so you look over here and you're seeing 11%. So that math, real quick, 5 plus 7 puts it at 12. I gotta actually figure out what this, it says 6 from base, weapon base. Oh, I think I understand what's happening here. Let's get rid of these for a second so we can let's see it. Make sure I'm not crazy. We get rid of both of these. So he's gone. Yeah, he has a base 6 crit. You give him this item, which gives him flat 5% crit under all circumstances. Now he has 11% base crit. This ability gives an extra plus 1% at crit for just itself. That would give him 12 with that ability. But then you stack on top of that this item, the Sharpening Sheath, and it doesn't, this item, because it's specifically melee only for crit skills, it doesn't add the 7% truly to the crit percentage. It doesn't add that total. Because if he did have a melee or a ranged attack, it wouldn't work, so they don't want to mislead you. But for our intents and purposes, you would say 5 from this, 6 at base, and that's what's written here. I guess this is one of those UI arguments, right? I've talked about UIs in the past. If I could rewrite this, what I would do is I would make this plus 7% crit melee skills be written under the crit section and say plus 7% for melee. And then this ability. So now you're looking at you're looking at 11 plus 7, looking at 18, 19%. 1 in 5 attacks, so 19%. 1 in 5 attacks are going to crit if I keep every time I swing a open bane. This one's even higher chance. Duelist Advance. I actually need to look this up. No, it says riposte crit plus 2%. You can crit when you riposte. I don't know why I wasn't sure if you could. Yeah, this is a legit build. We could do this for real easily. Okay, and then next we're on to Center Pont. I think Center Pont doesn't have any special items for this class. Oh no, we got the Absinthe. Now, it's kind of a weird situation, right? Plus 35% disease resist is usually pretty bad. We're going to the Warrens, guys. I mean, what better situation to have this item other than that? I mean, yes, obviously you could make an argument about the Crimson Court, but it's pretty solid. Now, is it a good item? But this is the best use case, probably. Plus 35% blight resist. Okay, that's fine. I mean, there are characters here that do blight you. Plus 35% blight skill chance. Yeah, this character has blight skills. Let's see if we have them selected, though. I don't think we do. Yeah, I think Poison Darts is what we need here. We can do that. We can switch over to Poison Darts. Let me go back and do that real fast in a second. Actually, let's just do it now before I forget. We'll go in here and unlock that. Might as well get the full value out of the ability. Poison Darts. Yeah, just this ability has that. We'll go ahead and level it all the way up, and then we'll get rid of Toxic Trickery. Here, Blight and Bleed. It's actually pretty solid. But we'll go ahead and put that here. Extra damage versus blighted. Yeah, this is a good build for her. She's not gonna have pick to the face, but we don't really need her to do that because we don't. This location, as I recall, doesn't have a lot of super tanky, just flat protection dudes. So, yeah, let's give her the Absinthe, and then I think I had another item that increased your blight damage or blight percentage chance, though. Maybe that was the item that worked specifically for the Witch Doctor, though. Actually, yeah, I think it might have been. Yeah, it was the poisoned herb. That's okay. Is there anything else we could put on this chick? Well, she's a lower level character. And I don't know this to be the case. The Archer's Ring's looking pretty appealing, though, too. I don't know this to be the case, but I think when your character is under-leveled for that mission, and she's only level 1, this mission's I don't know if level 1's considered under-leveled. She might take more stress. I don't know how that system works. I think it might. I might just be assuming things. Stun resist is not bad, but it's not really something I want on her. It'd be something I'd more want on the Highwaymen, if I was going to put that on somebody, because, a character who's built around repost, you don't want to be, repost, I'm saying repost. A character built around repost, a character built around repost doesn't want to get stunned, it turns out, because it's hard to crack back when you get hit whenever you're stunned. The real question is, would I rather have something like Book of Unholiness, or Book of Holiness, Book of Relaxation, extra accuracy, or plus 5 accuracy. Actually, look at this. Plus 5 accuracy to range skills, minus 1 speed. Plus 4 accuracy, minus 10% strength. I think I'd rather just have this. Yes, it's a higher tier tier of rarity, so it probably should be better in general, but it does have minus 4 dodge. I don't know. We'll go ahead and go with this one. I like this item. Alright. Oh, over on YouTube. Yeah, they dropped those funny expensive gems. Hands from the Abyss is a busted stun ability that only a cultist has access to. The irony is that the item helps with the stress attacks in that region. Man, you've been talking for a bit and I didn't see it. I apologize. I didn't see that. You were talking about Hands of the Abyss. I was talking about that 20 minutes ago. My God, I'm sorry. Yes, they take more stress, but I'm not sure how exactly it works. I think it's a flat extra amount at the start of the mission. Okay, I know that's what happened. In the last mission, we had 2 level 0s with us, and it was the first mission they went to. I think there's some system built in that says, check to see if the character's ever been to a mission of that difficulty ever. And if they haven't, give them 20 stress or something. I'm telling you, it's in there because the last episode, I know for a fact we had a team of 4 people. The flatulent had 10 stress, and I literally said out loud, I said, hey, our team doesn't really have any stress issues right now. I'm not going to worry about a de-stressor on our team. This is a level 1 mission. We go into the mission. The second it goes in, I look at my characters and I go, am I hallucinating, guys? 2 of our guys have 20 stress now. Now, one of them, I switched the characters last minute, so that one didn't count. I did add stress because I switched characters on that one. But the other 2 dudes just suddenly inherited 20 stress. I know for a fact. I know I'm not hallucinating. So thank you for saying that. It makes me feel a lot better. I know there's some kind of a first time going to a dungeon of that difficulty, or baby's first dungeon, they just get triggered. It's the first time it happens. Or maybe when they're at the lowest, what do they call that? What do they call this? Resolve level. When they're at the lowest resolve level at that mission, maybe every time they go to a new mission at that resolve level, if they're at the lowest resolve level available, or what's the word for that? The lowest resolve level that's allowed to go to said mission level, maybe they get triggered on it. I don't know. That'd be something worth looking up. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and go with what I got here, I think. Here, I already switched over to her blight stuff. This is an easy one. We already know what we're taking for her. We got the Sacred Scroll, Sacred Scroll, which I'm a fan of. Other than that, I don't really have any items in here I'm super excited about. This Virtuous Chalice, guys, I'm just going to say this. I think Virtue's cool, but I think it is a trap. As a player, you are literally saying, I want to intentionally play poorly so that I can get to 100 stress so that I might trigger Virtue. What are you going to do if you force your character to trigger their affliction? It doesn't trigger and go the good way for you, and you get Virtuous. And then you're holding an item that literally did nothing up to that moment and will continue to do nothing for the rest of the mission. And in addition to that, gives you minus 5 max HP. I say that as if that's like the icing on the cake. That really doesn't matter. As I said before, minus percentage health doesn't really matter in most characters because higher health characters don't care about the loss. Lower health characters don't get much of a penalty. It doesn't really matter. If it was flat health, it would be a totally different story. But I think Virtue Chance sucks. Now, that being said, as I said before, I still haven't verified this, but I mean, in my gut, I feel like I know for sure. I feel like the Vestal has a higher chance of turning Virtuous. Like, I wiki that. Somebody wiki it and check. I know I'm right. I know I read that at one point when I first was playing. And I think I've seen her trigger. I mean, even in my videos, I think I saw her trigger at least once. And I've only had a few people trigger maybe like 1, maybe 2 so far. But that's also like, confirmation bias. So anyway, I don't really care what we're taking for this character. It doesn't matter. She's not going to be using. Did I put stun on her? Okay, if I put stun on her, then it probably is a decent thing to put extra accuracy on her. Oh wait, okay. That begs a question. Since all of her abilities are going to hit most of the time anyway, since she's healing, and then I have Hand of Light, I don't really need Hand of Light. She's never going to be in the front. Oh, there is a chance she could be in the front. If our characters get rearranged and she's up front, she can hit them with Hand of Light before everybody else. If she got to go first, and she can go first because she has quick draw. There's a small, but admittedly possible chance where she could need Hand of Light because she won't be able to use her other abilities because she'll be in the first slot. So this does give her an out to do something and not have to waste her movement. Everybody else has movement abilities. They'll relieve her. I don't want to have her wasting a turn moving. I'd much rather her do something every turn. So yeah, I guess I since she has a few abilities that are ranged, I could increase her ranged accuracy, or I could use Dazzling Charm to increase her stun chance. I think I'm going to do that. Because she does have a stun built into this ability. Yeah, we have 2 people on our team that stun. Seems pretty good. Alright, I've talked enough. Let's get in here. I think we're going to go do this Eldritch Slayer's Ring mission now. Again, remember, we have 3 dudes that are level 3, and we got a level 1 chick. She's not going to be doing a heck of a lot. Oh, actually, guys. Wait a second. She has the same level of all of her abilities and anything else. Can I level this up? Oh, I don't have it yet. Man, that sucks. All of our people are a little under-leveled in terms of their weapons and gear, I think. And they could, yeah, if I had some more, another reason to start hoarding those. We really need some deeds. That's all right. We're going to have to start going around and doing lower level missions and just start scooping up some deeds. I think that's going to be a mission for our Antiquarian in the next few missions. We're going to be out there just hoarding some money. I say Antiquarian, she doesn't give you extra deeds and things of that nature. She gives you extra money, but you understand what I'm saying. We're going to be looking for some extra stuff the next few missions. Actually, probably exactly the opposite of the Antiquarian. We're going to be focused on picking up some deeds and some crests in the next few missions. All right, let's go. I did put that last item on right this time. I did. Let's go. All right, so this is a medium level mission, and so as I said, my general heuristic, and I don't know if this is right or not, but my general rule of thumb is to essentially say for basic missions I usually use about 8, and that's just because it's the size of a stack. I thought it was. Is it 12? Oh, right. I'm thinking of. Never mind. Doesn't matter. I think it's torches. That might be that. Yeah. But anyways, I usually take about 8 of both. And then for like a longer mission, like a medium, well, it's just slightly longer. Like, I think it's literally just half the length extra. So I usually just increase it by half. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to do it. I don't know what's proper, but this is what I do. And I also have, if the torch does get low, I have 2 people on my team that have the ability to increase the torch, right? Yeah, 2 of my people on my team can increase the torch. It doesn't even matter. And then from here, of course, I'm going to take a few shovels. I'll take 3 because I actually have the chick with us. Actually, this is the Warrens. No, it's the wheel that has, in the cove. No, really the wheel that I think has a lot more of these shovels, or a lot more obstacles you got to take care of. Yeah, I think we'll just take 3 shovels. I mean, it's either 3 or 4, right? Anti-venom, maybe I'll take like 2 of these. Same way, bandage, I'll probably take like 3. This is just based on my experience. 2, maybe 3 skeleton keys. I'll bring 3. Probably only need 2 if I'm being honest. I'll bring 3 medicinal herbs. I love these. Medicinal herbs are a lot more powerful than people give them credit for. Yeah, they can interact with curios just like bandages and just like holy waters can. Just like anti-venoms can. But the thing about it is anti-venom has a very... No, I mispronounce that a lot. Anti-venom has like one specific use, right? Other than curios, of course. Same way with bandages, but not medicinal herbs. Medicinal herbs can be used for like everything. Anytime you have a debuff, they can be used. I mean, you could justify bringing 4 of those if you wanted. And I said this before, the holy water is not exactly optimal at this location. It's more for like the ruins. But I bring it everywhere I go, just like I bring everything, at least one of everything, because I want to gather information on what the curios. I don't have all the curios memorized, and so I usually go in there and I use the holy water, and the very first thing I've never used it on, so I can just immediately start gathering reconnaissance on what works with what. And as I said before, if you're too scared to do something like that, you can go look up that. There's an app called the Companion, or Darkest Companion. Or Companion, Companion Darkest wouldn't make any sense. Darkest Companion you can go look up if you want to do that, and it'll tell you everything. And as I said, if you played the game for quite a while, the newness of the game is worn off, and you're just trying to be as efficient as possible, especially if you're pushing like dungeons and you're trying to play more efficiently, then go do it. But I'm trying not to, because I'm trying to, experience what the game is supposed to be like without all that to start, so... Wasting heroes in town 0. I never noticed this. There's a little icon on the far left that... And I like how it moves, too, to remind you about bleeding people. Which actually is good, because I need to bring a few blood. That actually just did its job. I need to bring a few... Well, I say it brought it. It didn't do its job. It didn't warn us of any heroes in town. But it did warn me to bring the 2 blood with us, because we have 2 people in our team that are thirsty. Heck, he's already craving. And I haven't really talked about this, but characters that are craving... there's different stages, and it doesn't matter. I'm not going to get lost in that. I'm about to start the mission. I want to play. But... if your character hits craving, they only have so many steps, I think it is. I think it's measured in steps, not rooms. So many steps until they'll hit wasting. And then wasting is when they're no longer like, okay, now they're really struggling. And then if you can give them blood, obviously, they'll be sated. And actually, I think they get a buff, even. I think they get buffed whenever their bloodthirst is sated. But if you let them go long enough and they're actually like thirsty, their bloodthirst or their craving, if they can become like wasting and they're wasting for too long, they will die. That's not a joke. So for those of you who are playing the vanilla version of the game, because I've had a few people that have reached out and told me they started playing the game after watching my videos, and they said that I'm playing and I've never seen this Crimson Courtyard thing. What did you do to trigger it? Remember, I said you have to go buy the DLC for Crimson Courtyard. And then you also have to buy the colors of madness if you want the farmstead. If you don't have those, you're never going to have this issue. But it does add a layer of difficulty. Not just because of the Crimson Curse, but because now I have to intentionally waste a whole nother slot to provision. Which means that I'm even more like juggling slots, trying to make sure I'm optimizing for what I'm carrying. So it does add to the inherent difficulty of the game. If you've been playing the game on the vanilla version of the game and you found the game a little too easy, well, first off, get off Radiant. Come join Darkness. It's more fun and it is more rewarding. I'm just saying, not to shame anybody for difficulty. I've played games on easier before. Sometimes you just want to chill and enjoy the story, but try out the Crimson Court and try out the Colors of Madness. They are different. I'd even use the word weird for the Colors of Madness, but they do add another like a litany of additional items as well as like cool little story quirks that just make the game interesting. All right, we're going. We're done. We're playing. I said I was going to change one person's ability here. I think I want to make sure I did that. Wasn't it her? Yeah, I switched to poison darts already. We're good. Yeah, let's go. Well, I think we just answered our question silently. I did not see an event trigger that, from memory, triggers whenever you have multiple people in your team without not having a boss hunting us. But see, look here, Crimson Curse Craving, minus 10% stun resist, minus 10% or 10% bleed resist. He's just weaker in general right now. It's annoying. Now, funny thing is, he's got higher speed, which can ironically be used in your favor early, because I can bring these characters in and immediately these two characters can start hitting super quick, and I can just wipe early fights out of nowhere, and it can be unexpected. I can just wipe a few people. And that's nice, because if I do that, if I just get into a fight and immediately wipe, what that means is I don't take the negative 10% stun resist, the negative 10% blight resist, all that other stuff doesn't actually matter. Plus, even if they do get hit and they get punished a bit for not getting rid of this early, then I can always heal it off with the Vestal. And then also, the longer I go without actually using these blood, the longer I have for them to be sated. So I'd like to use these when they hit wasting, like right when they hit wasting. That's what I try to do. Though you might not need to do. That's just how I've operated. Okay, so we immediately see a trap, which is fantastic. We've got quite a few people with stress with us, but pretty clearly here from memory, I know that this is going to be a job for our grave robber who has 100%. If it wasn't this person, it would be our highwayman who has 80, I think, 80%, 100, 110%. Why is that? What is going on that makes this character good at undoing traps? Is it his level? Oh, plus 30% from resolve level, 40% base. What is her base? 50% base. Okay, so he's just ahead of her purely because of his level. Okay, that's fine. I still will have her do it because she has a 100% chance of doing it, and she's also got some stress on her more than he does. And she's our lowest level character on the team. I want to make sure I protect her. She's our baby. I said this before. She's got 2 locked-in quirks. She's the only person I've locked in any quirks on, and I'm really investing in her. Gotta protect her if I can. All right, so we've talked about this one before. I know this is an altar, and I know this one interacts favorably with holy water. So we have a choice here. We can use the holy water immediately and immediately get some value out of it, which no harm in that. Or we can hold it and try to interact with something else. But I'm gonna go ahead and use it where there's value on it. Oh, right. So there is a downside to not fixing the Crimson Curse immediately when they're thirsty, and that is they can have these random triggered events where they give your guy stress. I wasn't thinking about that. It usually doesn't matter that much because usually you go into a mission without any stress, but our dudes are a little stressed. We did bring
the light, the promise of safety.
We did bring some pretty stressed out people with us, admittedly. All right, I'm gonna wrap around because I need to do 100% of broom battles. I'm gonna wrap around to the right, and I'm gonna go through the whole mission, the whole right side first, and come back up. No real reason, it's just what I'm doing. I think that might be a more efficient wasting away. Oh my god.
Mechanical hazards possessed by evil intent.
I get a random event on top of a warning. I was like, what's going on? Wasting away. Your infected hero's strength is fading quickly. Only the blood will nourish them. All right, so we got this guy wasting. Yeah, so he's wasting. So now this is when I would use a blood on him. Be really careful with this. One of the worst feelings in this game is having the wrong character selected and you use the blood on them. Make sure you select the character and then you use the blood. Now the Crimson Curse has been sated. He doesn't have nearly as many downsides. All right. I don't remember what to use on this. This is where I was talking about. I got to just use some random things on it. We're just going to guess. We're going to try a bandage. That's most things I have. Nothing. We're just trying to gather information, folks. Anti-venom? No. Torch? Okay. Could be medicinal herbs. Nothing. I don't want to use that shovel. So the question is, do I just want to interact with it normally? And I think I can justify that. I'm gonna do it with Center Pot because she already has 2 locked quirks, and this won't replace one of the good ones, no matter what. Okay. Oh, she's got a bunch of stress. That sucks. Okay, but now we know not to do that again. All right, this one. Now I think about this. This looks like a cutting board, and what would fit being cut? Bleeding, right? Bleeding? Okay, that's nice. Oh, wow! Okay, we got a sapphire from the very start. That's nice. Okay, either that or a ruby early in the game can usually make a choice for us, right? Because if we get another sapphire, then that's more than a stack of gold from the very start. That's a nice find. All right, we got to really get out of this. We get some stress already. This sucks. No enemies is fine. I want to hold off also on using... Okay.
Cruel machinations spring to life.
You dirty.
With
You're
a
dirty.
singular purpose.
That's two random traps that triggered that were not. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they weren't on the map. And a random hunger check here. Oh, I thought we missed it because she triggered something. I was like, what the heck? She's wasting. Sure, we'll go ahead and use the blood on her. All right. Brutal, man. We're using up all our resources immediately.
The match is struck. A blazing star is born.
Oh, wait, nice. We got a surprise on him. That's good. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and since we get to go surprised here, I'm going to try to take out somebody really fast. Even though I said earlier I'd try to use Shadow Fade, I'm just going to try to take out a backliner immediately, somebody who applies stress to us, because we all have...
Devastating blow.
I'm not going to complain about that. I don't want to take any additional stress if I could avoid it. We're going to stun that guy out. I want to remove this swine marcher from the entire fight, because this dude is going to just add all kinds of stress to us, and stress is the thing that will lose us this fight, this whole mission, if anything. Our characters have enough health. I'm fine with that. All right, here I can do a few things. I might actually... I don't think he's going to get focused. I think what I'm going to do here is just remove this guy's stealth. I missed, so it didn't matter. But he did get the buff, so that's fine. We'll go ahead and stun the front guy, if we can. And then the only guy that can really do anything to us at all.
Dazed, reeling.
We already got
to break.
Really? Oh! Okay! 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 Okay, we got lucky. Oh, we got lucky. We got powerful. Okay. Dude, that's slick. That's so nice. I did not expect to get that lucky. I was so bummed out. I was like, man, as soon as because we got crit, right? This guy, this little swine spawn hit us with a crit. That was brutal. I'm like, come on, man. What are the odds of that? All right. It was going to happen, but I just didn't expect it to happen that early. But this is awesome. Powerful. I don't remember what it does, but it doesn't matter because it's, you know, it removed a lot of stress from him, which will help us, and he'll help us the whole mission. This is what I talk about. Some exciting things can happen. Sometimes RNG can give it, and sometimes it can take it away. That might very well be the thing that lowers the overall difficulty of the entire mission by 20% for the rest of the mission. Because if it's going to be persistent for the entire mission, he's going to get that powerful debuff. That's crazy. All right, he's already going to die anyway. Do I kill him? I don't want him to apply any stress. Stress is the only thing that's going to annoy us. Just finish him. Just finish him. Yeah, vomit. Annoying dude. Stress. Gotta stop the stress, man.
A death
Good.
by inches.
Alright, and then we will try to take out... I would love to hit that backliner. Can I hit him with this? Yeah, I can. Hit him with as much damage as possible. Let's take out that guy that's stressing us out. Oh, nice! Riposte. Get that riposte going. That was nice. Didn't expect that. And then here, I can continue to stun, but I might take a second to actually just start taking care of the characters. Just heal our guys up. It's not ideal. Oh, that's really ideal. Oh, okay. They both dodged. Whatever. Here we'll stun up the guy that loves to, hit everybody with diseases. But when I was talking about something being ideal, see, the front 2 liners have taken the majority of the damage, and the back 2 guys haven't taken almost anything, which is kind of the worst case for the Vestal, because she doesn't get the max value out of her heal, Divine Grace, nor does she get the max value out of the What is the ability of the other one? The tall heal and the wide heal. All right, let's just bleed out the tank.
Impressive.
That's a nice crit. Every additional little crit is huge for us because the stress. Can we take out the backliner? So yeah, this is gonna hit for 4 to 8 damage, and then it will blight for 3. Yeah, I think we just kill this character if we hit. Oh, will it hit for 2? Oh, I think the ability I was hovering had a different base damage. I need to pay attention to that. Nice dodge. Alright, we can stun here. Just end it. Well, okay, 0 damage, but he's... And he dodged? Dude, that dude's a Chad. Crit for 14 on a dude that... He is a Chad. Not only did he take less damage from the poison darts, then he took 0 damage from the light, and then he took no crit, and then he did not get stunned, and then he crit for 14. He was like, this is my 15 minutes of fame. That's ridiculous. What do I do here? Everybody's basically dead on their team.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
I want to heal now. Let's take out the back guy. Just end him.
Press this advantage.
14 quit.
Give them no quarter.
I want to heal. I'm going to take a second off the heal. I'm going to attack a dead body, make the fight last a little longer, and I'm going to heal this dude. I'm going to heal when we can, and then we'll stress heal him.
Soothed. Sedated.
Maybe we get a ball and chain to the face and butcher cut. 7 to lot. And bleed. Man. 3 bleed? Yikes. Let's just kill this guy. Oh no. Oh, I won't even hit him if I do it. Let's heal the... This guy's gonna take 3 damage this round, which sucks, but... I don't know. Maybe I actually continue to heal Reynold. Oh, that's a nice crit. And then in addition to that, he's gonna take full bleed here, but I'll give him the bandage. And then after that, we'll immediately heal him.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
At the beginning of the next fight, we'll immediately heal him. Look at the deeds and the portraits. Oh, yes. That's what we want. All right, so we'll switch dude up the front again. Although, I mean, it's not a bad idea to have him in the back here, believe it or not, because if you put him back here, he can start the fight by using the Holy Lance and just charge up in the fight. Plus 20% damage versus Unholy is irrelevant here. But he can't stun if he's up front. I want the option to do that. Let's move him up. She needs to be switched back. Yeah, it's cutesy. I don't really need to be doing that. All right, let's go ahead and use our skeleton key here. Okay, do I go for Ethereal Crucifix on the boss fight, or do I go Heavy Boots on a medium? I think Ethereal Crucifix, if I recall correctly, is the one that helps you with extra damage to Eldritch, right? Is that right? Heavy Boots on a medium. Yeah, I like that item. Like, I like that item a lot. It's helped me before. I've worn that a few times in order to go and deal with bosses like the ancient, like the sunken crew. I use it against them. I think that item's pretty. I like that item. I guess it's slightly different than the Eldritch Ring, but wow, look at the portraits and the perfect stack too. 1, and then an extra 3, and then we got the full stack of crest. That was an incredible chest. I mean, the chests get better as you go. If you haven't noticed that, on a higher mission, the chests are better. Oh, that's nice. This is really good because we can immediately use the medicinal herbs here, and then use up a bunch of the food and take a little pressure off our vessel.
Handsome reward for a task well performed.
I'm gonna feed people and heal them real quick, and then we'll just take the rest of it, and use it. Maybe it'll get used on the next random hunger check. Now the downside of this is we don't have space to take the 1,000. Oh no, what am I talking about? We have it right there. Man, that just worked out great. All right, keep an eye on the ground. We got. Oh, I wasn't expecting maggots. I was looking for a treasure or a trap. But okay. All right, we'll lunge immediately because it should just kill something.
Executed with impunity.
Nice damage. The crit is clean. We needed that on her. And I think these have high resistance to stun. They don't like being stunned. Let's just use this as an opportunity to just heal everybody then. Or I guess I'll just heal our... Alright. Double crits are nice. Pistol shot's fine, but we are mostly melee. I think pistol shot was the wrong ability to have on him. We probably shouldn't have brought this at all since he's supposed to be doing melee. This actually, I think he only has 2 melee abilities full stop, so it doesn't even matter. Do these guys have bleed resist? They don't. I think I'd rather just do the duelist advance.
Back to the pit.
I didn't expect to kill him, but that's cool. These guys are gonna not deal a lot of damage to us. Let's just keep removing stress while we can cheese it. 5 stress is 5 stress. We'll take it. Okay, I would be honest with you. 5 damage, then 6 stress was not on my my bingo card. Dodge was nice though. I did not expect her for that to happen. All right, let's get her out of there. That's why we brought that ability, so she can pull a little pressure off of her, because she is again our lowest. Oh, nice. Crit. That's 2 crits in a row. Well, not 2 crits in a row. Oh my gosh, and he got this. Yup. These little maggots are hitting pretty hard for maggots. You know what I mean? Not liking that. All right, now this is a perfect time for her to heal everybody. They're all low. But they've all been damaged. Let's just kill one of these guys. Get out of here.
Another abomination cleansed from our lands.
I like how he stunned him and killed him at the same time. It's funny. All right, get out of here.
Another one falls.
Stress relief is good. We like that. 3 people liking it too is nice. All right.
Ghoulish horrors. Brought low and driven into the mud.
We keep an eye out. And I didn't even mention this, but it's nice that we found an extra blood too, because at some point one of these 2 is probably gonna trigger again. We will see. Extra torch is fine. We don't really need it right now, but we'll top off.
In Radiance, may we find victory.
We're gonna need, when we get back to our starting room, we're gonna go through 2 more rooms here. Okay, we only have, maybe we'll go through a few more rooms here. Actually, we got a little bit more than I thought. We're all right. Okay, new fight, new enemy. This slavering ghoul is terrifying looking, first off. I mean, it's really cool, like, art. But there's a few things going on. We haven't really seen this in a regular enemy. It's usually only with bosses. These 2 guys really, really love applying stress. But he does it differently. The slavering ghoul actually applies a debuff we've only seen at the farmstead once. He applies horror, which is stress over time, like bleed. So we do want to deal with this guy. Plus, he also has 40% protection. So it is not the 2 in the front's job to deal with them. We need our grave robber to start blighting this guy if possible. He has 40% resistance of blight. We need her to start doing damage to him. Start stacking blight. This fight might go longer than I want it to. I don't think either of these 2 characters can hit, really. Like, their AoEs don't hit for damage. They are applying debuffs. So, like, I think the Drums of Debilitation doesn't trigger riposte. So I think I'm just going to try to apply more, maybe not bleed. Maybe, oh, actually I should probably just set up for extra damage for the rest of the fight. So lazy but easy. Ah! She's going to hit it. Wait. Glory and honor, my brave friends.
A time to perform beyond one's limits.
Plus 11 dodge, plus, oh no, just plus 15%. Okay, they all had different abilities. So he's giving everybody plus 15% damage for the next 4 rounds. That's awesome. Okay, his stun is 70%. I think I can get over that. I think I might be able to get over that. Man, I just didn't. She could probably do it. We have them both try it. We have 2 people that can stun for. Yeah, okay, great. We might be able to, like. Okay, alright, cool. Having 2 people with stuns is pretty slick here. Alright, let's go ahead and try to bleed this guy out. We're doing a lot of damage to him. Nice. Have her, I could do this a few ways. I could either go for more blight stacks and then kill him next round, and he will die next round because of this ability here. Lunge. It's gonna deal 23% extra damage. Okay, so her base damage with this ability, 2 to 3 damage. Why is it 2 to 3? It seems lower than normal. Am I out of my mind? What's going on here? Oh, hold on. When you hover a character, the damage changes. I've never noticed that. So the base... oh, it's because he has protection. Oh, I see. Okay. So the base damage this character is going to deal is between 2 and 3 on a regular whatever for this character. Then on top of that, she's going to hit for 23% more. Is that right? Am I understanding that correctly? I thought it was... I'm going to have to look at that up more a little bit later. All right. So I could hit him for more. I know if I hit him with these darts, he'll die next round for sure. I'm not going to be able to stun him because he's already been stunned last round. So I could either just try to kill him because he's got 25 health here. He's going to take how much? 3 and then 2. He's going to go down by 5. Everybody else is going to hit him for a total. So I need to deal 20 damage to him in these 2 rounds. I could do it. If I attack just him, hit him for 8, I might be able to kill him just outright. Ugh. And the crit.
Injury. Palpable fear.
Yeah. Alright, so I could... Yeah, I'm not going to kill him this round probably now. I just realized I'd already attacked with the center paw. I probably should have just hit him with the blight stacks. That's okay. Let's try to stun the Backbiter.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted.
Okay,
and
hitting the
purpose
Backbiter's
is
fine.
made clear.
Yeah, that's horror. It's annoying, but I'm not as bothered by it. Alright, we'll go ahead and remove some stress. Remove some stress. He can't stun this guy this round anyway, right? This guy in the back has already been stunned. The guy in the front had to stun, the resistance to stun for a whole round, so... Alright, she'll Shadow Fade out of here. He gets to go? That was awful. That was awful here.
The abyss returns even the boldest gaze.
Alright, let's just kill him. He did too. I said it, he did. Like, he just killed him. Alright, and then here... I'd love this. Oh, this guy's already stunned. We can take a round off here. This is great. We can heal everybody. This guy can stress heal too. Oh, what are you doing? He's buffing everybody for, again? Oh my god. The buffs are crazy. So we have all the damage in the world. It's the stress that's going to be the problem. So let's just have him focus on de-stressing people. That's going to be the problem. We need to burn through and get this guy now. Alright, have her into this guy. What's he got? 16 health? Can the other guys reach? He kind of can. He doesn't have resistance. Oh, he does have resistance to stun. We need to kill this guy. I can't be here much longer. Oh my god, the extra percentage damage is insane. Can he reach and just kill him outright with this? Oh yeah, let's go.
Formation is broken.
I was afraid we weren't going to be able to kill him.
Maintain the offensive.
Plus 10% stun. You like the, okay, if you've been watching and been paying close attention, look at this item, Stun Amulet. Dude, this is ironic. I was talking earlier about how I thought this item was there was a thing called like a stun stone. This is literally the stun stone or whatever that was mixed with this dazzling charm. It's like all of it at once. That's hilarious. That's a good item. We for sure want to take that with us. We have enough food, right? Oh yeah, well we already have a stack of it, so that's fine. Do we take this Onyx? I don't think so. I don't think there's anything in my inventory that I like more than the Onyx is something I like more of than, my god, English is hard. I don't think there's anything in my inventory that I would prefer to have less than the Onyx. Or more than the Onyx, whatever you want to say. Yeah, I think I'm saying that right. It might be too late at night. Let's get, oh, this is an easy trade, an antidote. Dude, I am struggling. Switch out here. Okay. We need to camp yesterday. Oh, we're not taking the journal page. I'd love to collect those, but this sucks. I can't take this emerald either. I mean, I guess I could. I could drop their medicinal herbs. I'm gonna do it. Medicinal herbs are good, but I've only got one left. It ain't that big a deal. And stop stressing. We're out of money now. Well, this is funny. I'd rather have the gold than the emeralds because the emeralds are a lot more rare to find than the gold. Even though the emeralds have a higher ceiling, there's not, what is there, like 5 rooms left? I think I'd much rather have the gold because the gold's more likely to get stacked than that. All right, so whatever's in this room, there's no enemy, right? Okay, so we have a few choices. We can camp now, which we might. I don't mean in this exact room. I mean, we're going to go through 2 more rooms. We're going to go back up here first. I think we'll camp in this room, the room before the battle. So 2 more rooms backtracking. Which is nice too, because it'll also let us remove some stress from our chick here. Our grave robber. Alright. No way. She had a 100% chance.
Curious is the trap maker's art. His
that
efficacy
possible?
unwitnessed by his own eyes.
Is it possible to trigger trap at 100% hit? She has affliction now. Before that, she had 100%. I didn't even know it was possible to fail a trap at 100%. Well, that's unfortunate. All right, that's fine.
Packs laden with loot are often low on supplies.
Well, I don't know what to do with this now because we already used the... What do you have? Well, I don't want to get rid of quick draw. Yeah. Oh, sure, I'll have you do it. Affected by the rotten pile, what do you got? In the worries, what does that do? Plus 30% stress. That's what we need. That's... Ugh. All right, this is the room we're going to sleep in. Actually, she might... Did I get lucky enough to have... No, I don't have snuff blocks with this to remove that, but it isn't that big a deal anyway. All right, I think this is where we're going to get Lake Hant because our guys are struggling a little bit on stress. Didn't help that she triggered a trap somehow. I don't know how that's even possible. 100%?
A spark without kindling is a goal without hope.
Well, the nice part here is somebody on my team has stress eaters or like something like that. Where's that at? What do you have? Somebody has it. Fast? No, that's not it. Somebody has, on total accident, stress faster. 100% less food consumed if stress is above 50. So she's saving us food right now. Normally this would be 8. But the nice part is here, I can use this and then remove 10 stress now because we have an abundance of food. We have almost 2 stacks because this location, the Warrens, is just filled with food because of there's those carts filled with dead bodies, which is gross that you eat that, but whatever. That's nice. We needed that. Now, let's look. I think we have a few people on our team that can actually remove stress from people. Yeah. So the first one here, we've got minus 15 stress on all companions, minus 15% stress for all 4 battles. That's exactly what we need. I mean, you could not write a better thing here. That's incredible. All right. I think he has the ability to make sure we don't get in, nighttime ambush. We might. That might be worth doing. Self only minus 25 stress. Yeah. Gallows humor? Sure. Is that minus 4? What's a sanctuary? Yikes. But prey is here. Okay, so the question is, would we rather guarantee that there's no nighttime ambush? Or would we rather get down as much stress as we... I don't think that the nighttime ambush is what's making me afraid right now. I think what makes me afraid is the stress. I think I'd rather just get rid of as much stress as we can. Wait, what? Oh, that's unfortunate. Gallows, she didn't have... She failed her camp check on this ability because she is paranoid. So she had no humor, I guess. All right, Centerpont, you're making it hard to love you. You're the character I was trying to invest into, and now you're just trolling. All right, let's go to sleep. Let's see if... no nighttime event, please. No nighttime event.
The way is lit. The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
All right, no nighttime event is big. That's awesome. Okay, the crate contains stash heirlooms. Sure, we need those. No complaints there. Nothing on the ground, right? Okay, new enemy. Large corpse eater. Looks really intimidating. Is, but not in the way you think. You look at this character and you think, oh, this guy's probably going to hit for a lot. No, it's not really his thing. His thing is making your character super weak. He's obnoxious. Like, the longer the fight goes on, the more obnoxious it is to fight him. He has high protection, very, very high. Look at his blight resist. 120%. I could throw darts at this guy for days and he wouldn't even care. So I want to take out the backliner first so we can just focus just him. I'm gonna try to hit this guy with have her take him out. Everybody else is gonna just pile on this dude though. He has 70% stun resist. Let's try twice on him. Actually, let's have him stun, or have her stun the backliner. Cool. And then we'll have our Crusader try to stun the frontliner here. Because he has a higher chance of stunning it, right? Oh, I was sitting here being cheeky. My brain was like, maybe I can switch the stun amulet with the surgical gloves for the fight for just this first round. Game already thought ahead. You can't do that. So we get a stun if we get lucky. Okay, now we can take a turn off here and we can get ready to deal some extra damage for the rest of the fight. It's the best first round you could ask for. Everybody's stunned. We got our buffs. Everybody got a little cheeky hit in there. That's good. It's good. And now we're going to try to deal as much damage as we can. Just try to take these guys out. This guy is going to take 3 for 3. Let's just finish him. I think he just dies from blight. Yeah, he's dead. Everybody else can focus this guy now. Let's bleed him out. He has 80% bleed resist. Oh, we got it. Got lucky in the bleed stack.
Death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
Now, we're not going to stun this guy a second time. It's pretty low chance, right? Because he's got a... Yeah. So this... We have literally 110%, 120% chance of stunning that has 120% resistance to it. Probably ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna use it anyway because I just want to stack damage on him and everybody's mostly topped off. Yeah. Debuff. And that's what I was talking about. Minus 8% crit for the next 4 rounds. Just annoying. Alright, I'm gonna make this guy protect everybody because this guy is just having a good time. Reynold has been having a good time since the beginning. He has not had any bad situations happen to him. He is a believer of the faith, and he has been rewarded for it. He has not had the Crimson Curse. He's our highest level guy. He has no stress, full health. He's walking around whistling. I'm walking on sunshine in the middle of the dude's day. Alright. One of these deals extra damage. Okay, versus Mark, not bleed. I guess we'll just lunge him. Steal as much damage as we can and try to finish this guy off quickly if it's possible. God loves him most. Yeah, dude. 18! Maybe not! Maybe somebody likes this guy. Actually, for Dismas, since he's a highwayman, it's probably a crossroads demon that likes this guy the most.
The bigger the beast, the greater the glory.
Okay, God loves him most. Alright, we don't need any more shovels, which is kind of weird. I guess we'll use the last food here, and then we'll take the portraits and we'll leave this random shovel. Dude, I've never had more shovels than I can stack before. That's kind of wild. Alright, nothing on the ground here. Crate contains heirlooms. Yeah, that's exactly what we needed.
Finding the stuff is only the first test. Now it must be carried home.
We needed another 6 of those to make the full stack of crests there. That's great. Things are working pretty good right now. Alright, I think we're in a good position for the rest of this mission. All we need is to protect the stress of Centerpont. This is what I'm talking about, where I say those...
Mind that such missteps are the exception, and not the rule.
And not the rule. That's one of the things I don't like, is the random stat checks. You just get hit by a... I'm not a fan. Because I did not see that on the ground. Maybe you did, but I did not see that. Now, we've already checked this, and we already know that this altar works whenever you have holy water. I'm not gonna check that. There's no reason for it. Let it be. I don't want to get another random disease from it for no reason. Okay. 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 So we'll take out the guy that had stress. These guys deal a lot of damage, but I'm not worried about that as much as I am just killing the guys that deal stress. Just kill him. Just get him out of there. Get the stress dude out of here. Sure. It's annoying, but whatever. Okay, Rend. You cannot deceive me, wretch. You have betrayed us. What do you mean? He dodged. How's he betraying you? Sure.
How quickly the tide turns.
Two crits in a row. Come on, dude. All right, let's go ahead and heal everybody.
Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
Dude, leave him alone. I just talked about him having a good mission, and now, well, I guess it's probably a good thing, though, because he took all of that for everybody. Let's just have him start stunning people. Just start stunning them. Stun them. All right, we're going to have her... Well, he's going to die from... Oh, he's not. Let's just finish him then.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
The Jude has taken the last, I think, 5 hits from the opposing team. He went from having no stress to... I know he's supposed to be marked, but my God. All right, have him... Let's just have him start protecting himself.
Wounds of war can be healed, but never hidden.
All right, we're going to take out this guy, because this guy's stunned. It really doesn't matter. One of the two is who we want to get rid of. Actually, I probably should have taken out the guy who can't be stunned next round. That probably would have been the, strictly speaking, better play there. Heal everybody. I like using heal on everybody if I can, because there's a chance of critting on 4 people instead of just 1. Okay, you can move, I guess. I'm just going to have you move again anyway. Do what you got to do. Okay, sure. That's a stress thing, right? Okay, she's still okay. We're almost done with this mission. I'm not too worried.
The ground quakes.
Nice. Everybody but the person you want with the stress relief from. Come on now, leave her alone. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Okay. All right. Pick up the bad guy.
decimated.
Okay. 28. All right. Okay. All right. We heal this. I'm gonna heal everybody. Crit 10. See, I don't care about the crit, really. I really care about the fact that it's removing a little bit of stress from her. It's just... Why?
Be wary. Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
Okay, extra emerald and extra onyx that I find later in the mission. I don't care about it. Dude, look at all these portraits. I am just gonna have the portraits all day. There's nothing I can get rid of though here. Well, I can get rid of the blood. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just give him the blood. I don't know if that resets the timer. It might or might not. I don't know. I'm gonna get rid of that blood because we haven't seemed to need it, and we're almost out of the mission anyways. I don't see a situation where our characters will suddenly get thirsty for blood out of nowhere, but that does happen sometimes. I'm hoping that will reset the counter internally. I don't know. Alright. Let's... Oh, guy's here. Oh, surprise! That's great. See if we can't take out Mr. Debilitating Drums real quick here as fast as possible. We're just gonna set him up. Hit him for as much as we can and stun him out. Just remove him from the fight surgically here. As I said, stress is the thing we hate right now. Maybe I actually take a second and hit the tank. Okay, buffing everybody is awesome.
The blood quickens.
Okay, this guy has lower stun resist. We'll just go ahead and hit this guy, stun him out. I don't want to have him use the protect, even though I do want him protected. Right now he's so low already, I can't have him tank. I need to get him healed first. Why are you stressing him out? He just riposted. Don't be mean to him, paranoid. Dude, you gotta chill out. He's trying to push us to the last moment over the edge here. All right, I don't know. I don't want to see this guy hit us with some debilitating drums. I'm trying to kill him if I can immediately. I might not be able to though. That sucks. If we get to attack this guy before he gets to shoot off his debilitating drums, we will. Well, he has stun resistance, so that would be literally useless here. I guess we stun. Well, this guy's 70% chance to resist stun. I guess this is it. We're locked in on a heal this round. Well, I mean, it's not bad. It's just not optimal. I mean, these two guys, butcher's cut. Well, nice dodge. We needed something like that. That's real good. Yeah, she's gonna go over the edge. We're gonna have two people that are afflicted here, which sucks. Oh no, wait. She was already paranoid. We brought her down because we camped. Oh, never mind. Doesn't even matter. All right, here we will try to. This guy has resistance stun. No, he does not. I judge the guilty. Munch. Suddenly, it doesn't look so bad. Like, when a character's already gone over the edge, the stress bar doesn't look so terrifying. But, like, taking 75% of your health in 2 hits does. That looks pretty bad. Yeah, we don't forget, that character actually is pretty low base health. Because she's only level 1. She can... A winter breeze... Or, not even a winter breeze. A light breeze will take her out. He's gonna die from bleed because he's stunned this round. So he's gonna take 2, and then he's gonna take 2 again. Let's just take out this guy. He might just die too because he's got bleed now. He might have just killed them both, dude. Nice job. Okay, we'll heal everybody then. Heal for... She's gonna take 2. I think I'm just gonna heal everybody. Okay, she doesn't want to be healed. The one character who needs to be healed doesn't want to be healed. Okay.
A momentary abatement.
Alright, whatever, dude. You're gonna die next round anyway. I don't care. It's kind of nice that you're gonna give us one more chance to do this too. Let's remove her stress, because this is getting out of hand here. She's just super stressed out. Alright. If we get the chance to heal, we will. That's not a heal, but sure. Let's just attack the dead body. He's gonna die on his turn anyway. I'm gonna try to cheese out an extra heal. If I can, attack the dead body. Let the other people heal people. I'm gonna heal just her. Never didn't have it. Have him heal somebody random, get rid of some stress. And And suddenly something that looks super dire
Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
doesn't look that bad anymore. All right. I guess we can use this medicinal herb on her, get rid of those negative things. Oh my god. Guys, look at the portraits! What is it, the Louvre? Alright, I want to get rid of these. Hold on, look at the map. Do we have any information on any obstacles? I want to dump these shovels, I'm gonna be honest with you. Start stacking another stack of gold. That's greedy. I'm not gonna do that. You gotta keep the basics. You have to have the four horsemen of every mission. You need your food, you need your shovels, you need your torches, and you really need to at least keep a one or two skeleton keys. I mean, think about the situation where you don't have one of those. Everything else, if you don't have medicinal herbs, I mean, medicinal herbs are probably not the best example. I'd much rather have a situation where I didn't have, bandages or something, but the lube joke ran through my mind at the same time. Oh yeah, that is funny. I guess we both played a bit too much Civilization, probably. Alright. I really wish I could have dropped that shovel a second ago. That's alright. Oh, she's craving. And of course it's the other character. Makes me mad. That's okay. We'll finish the mission before she dies from cravings. I think you gotta go through. Look at this. This is why we keep the shovel, folks.
Such blockages are unsurprising. These tunnels predate even the earliest settlers.
Look at the ground. Oh, no, hold on. Switch these around. What am I doing here? Look at the ground. Oh, he's craving too. It doesn't reset the counter. Hunger check. I don't care. Hunger check is not going to distract us from looking at the ground. I don't want to get hit by a trap, and I seem like I keep getting hit by those. We got one more mission, one more room to go through, and we're done. Okay. Big enemy here. Okay, so this guy does...
A powerful blow.
Alright. Okay, so what I was trying to say before my characters decided that they were just all trying to be the main character, was this guy over here, this swine-tar, send hulking swine-tar. This character's whole thing is like running backwards and then running forward and doing a lot of damage. So he basically is kind of like the Crusader. He does like, he runs forward and deals a bunch of damage. If you can pull him forward, I think you can actually stop him from doing the charge, but we don't have the character to do that. Really what we're going to try to do, if we can, is like stun him before he gets the chance to do that and stun other guys. But he has high stun, so we might not even be able to do that. We might just have to start stacking as much damage as we can on him. Okay. I'm just going to... Well, I guess probably the smartest thing is to just start stacking damage. I don't think there's a good way to get through this mission. I think we just have to bear it. But I will want more damage, so I'm going to do it now. Oh, giving everybody plus 15% damage to the rest of the fight does make things a little easier. Let's stun the dude up front, and then we'll, after this round, we'll take a turn off and use the Bulwark of Faith. That was nice. We needed that. What are you going to give us? Any debuff? Anything else? Anytime he vomits, I'm like, I'm going to catch everything. Oh, Pig Spear, there it is. Oh, nice. Cool. Great. That's what we wanted to see. A nice dodge. Yeah, he tries to hit everybody with that. We're going to try to ignore this guy, which is an option, right? You can either try to take him down fast or take down everybody else and then work on him afterwards. And I'm going to go the other route. I'm just going to try to take out everybody else but him. Okay, I'm going to try to hit the backliner here. Take out everybody but him if I can. Oh, I did not mean to attack him. I clicked the wrong person, but it's not a terrible thing. He's still got his riposte on. No, man, whatever. Okay, you're gonna dodge. That's annoying. All the extra stress. Stop it. Trot retreats. This is what I was talking about. He goes to the back and then he tries to Big Spear over and over again. All right. Let's try to stun some people out, I guess. This guy is the only one that has the ability to go do anything this coming around, but he also has stun resist for a round. We're not gonna do that. I'll stun the next guy. Just alternate stuns. Alternate stuns. Sure. Okay, she gonna stun back? Yep. traded a stun for a stun there, that's fine. Alright, here we'll go ahead now and actually make him... Well, actually, if I make him the focus, then he won't get the riposts off. I guess we'll just keep on stunning. No complaints here, right? If they can't attack, they can't... I mean, it turns out it's pretty good if your opponents just can't even attack you. Alright, let's take out the tank, I guess. I think this guy will die. No, he won't die next round. I don't care. This guy's a tankier guy. I want to bleed him as much as possible. Alright. The guy in the back has high bleed or high resist, but he is the one that's going to start being a pain. Let's try to start working on his resistances. Oh, we even got lucky enough to actually hit him with the initial blight. His resistance to blight is lower now, and we got lucky enough to hit him on the first one. That's pretty cool. Alright, so if we hit one of these guys, they just die, right? Do I even worry about that then? He's at 3. I'm just thinking about if I want to remove stress or what I want to do here. I don't know. He was at 3 blight the next round, and he had 4 health, and he wasn't stunned.
A decisive pummeling.
Wow. I gotta be honest, I didn't expect the big spear to go in our favor. Everybody took like 8 damage, and then he crit back, and then everybody removed 3 stress, which is the stat that I'm worried about. Is their that's funny. 2 health. Okay, he's at 3 health. That's so annoying. He's like right there on the edge. Let's let this guy hit once and then just bleed out on his own terms. He's gonna die anyway. Everybody focus on the big guy. This guy's gonna hit us for 1 free attack, but whatever. Just take out the big guy.
Well struck.
Nice. All right. If I can get a free heal. Actually, I could just. No. Let's heal everybody. It's a better use of our time. Luckily, she's the highest health person on the team right now.
The wounds of war can be healed.
All right.
Never hidden.
I can stun this guy. I might actually be able to pull it off because he's got such a high base stun, and he's got a high resistance, but he's got a high base stun. Maybe I'll just remove stress. It's not bad. This guy's gonna get killed by the highwayman anyways if we just let him go. The ball and chain's annoying, but whatever. Yep. Sure. Please just taste your... Oh. Okay. Okay. A lot of damage.
Unbalanced.
Lucky part is, he hit the tank with the crit, so it's not the worst thing. Alright, these guys are gonna die anyways, we're fine.
Monstrous size has no intrinsic merit.
Let us go first, please, before he goes.
Inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
Heal everybody. Let's see if we get to heal again. We're gonna get lucky. Nope. That's hard.
Slowly, gently. This is how a life is taken.
A crit stone. another one of these. Onyx. And the nice part is, 3 onyx is still weaker than a stack of gold, so it's fine. Alright, where are we at in the mission? We just had a random hunger check, right? I'm gonna go ahead and just burn through my food. I'll take the stack of money. I'm not gonna worry here about this crit stone. Actually, no, the crit stone is still... Our common items, I can't remember if they're worth 1,000 gold? Are they worth the same as a sapphire? +3 crit is cute. I mean, it's a good early game item. It can really matter. As you've seen, crit can really matter. But we've got other things. Like, this character has other better items to help him crit. I don't really care about that item. Onyx is alright, but I just... Yeah. This thing, if I remember right, this monolith actually is always a good thing. If I remember right. I think it always gives your character, like, a buff. Right? Warren's Explorer. Wait, what did I just get rid of? Hard Noggin? Oh, that's brutal, dude. Hard Noggin's a good thing to keep. Alright, well, I said it always gives you a good thing. Technically it does, but that wasn't a good situation. We want to keep Hard Noggin on our... Losing Hard Noggin on our highwayman is a little annoying. Alright. We got one last room to get through. We're almost done. Let's finish this off. Get out of here, Mr. Stressing people out. Get out of here. Nobody likes you. Alright, these guys have huge stress. Yeah, that's what I thought. Actually, let's just heal. Everybody's got, like, low health. Alright, we will try... These guys have no bleed... Oh, no, they do have some. He has melee-related stuff. I want to do melee abilities with him because all of our stats are based on that this time around. Sure. Oh, nice. Buffing everybody. Powerful's pretty strong. Giving everybody extra 15% damage is not a joke, man. Alright, these guys don't get stunned very well, but he has such a high base stun, he might pull it off anyway. Yeah. Munch. Okay. 7 is a lot, but he's also a huge tank. Alright, we will try to finish off that guy. As I said, this is the guy that's... Alright, let's finish. Let's just kill him if we can. I guess we can't reach. Right, because we move forward. He's got 8 health. We're not going to be able to finish him. What's this? Stun resist the next few rounds. That way we just killed him, wouldn't it have? Okay. Well, we've got them all prepped for death. Yuck, 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 yuck. All the extra stress, man. Those drums, I hate the drum. Look at all the extra stress, just so much. Alright, I think here, I'm gonna heal just our tank, because, you know, he's got a decent amount of health, but then you look at it, you're like, well, but his health pool is so high, 12 is like no health. Alright, finish this guy off. Now the fight becomes a lot less scary. Okay, take out the backliner. Gone pretty well considering a few scares we've had. Alright, you can see what I mean. Oh, there's the dice I talked about in the previous episode.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
We talked about how the dice, ironically, because I think we got a gesture that had skilled gambler, and I made a joke about how dice were one of his items. I'm actually going to drop my torches. Look at where we are on the map. We don't need them anymore. I'm going to drop it. I guess I'll take the dice because I don't have any items for the gesture yet. And then I'm also going to drop the shovels because we're through this whole area, right? There's no obstacles, right? I don't see one in front of me. We only have one more cell to walk into, so we'll drop the shovels and take these. And then I am going to keep... Is the next room a treasure room? We don't know. Technically speaking, deeds stack in 6, that's full stacks. I do want these portraits, though. The 2 portraits... Okay, so 1 portrait... 3 portraits stack in a stack of 3, 6 portraits stack in a stack. So that means 1 portrait is worth 2 deeds. 2 portraits is then worth 4 deeds. This is better than 3 deeds. I'm gonna have... Oh, but we need deeds, though. We were just talking about that. I really don't know what to do here. I guess, realistically, the best thing to drop is probably the Sapphire, which is weird. It's worth 1,000 gold, but it didn't stack an extra time. All of these gold stacks are better than that. And this uncommon's better than that. The lucky dice... Yeah, well... Portraits are the rarest thing in the game, as I was kind of talking about. Like, so... It's essentially a function of how many can stack, right? So the crests have the highest stacking. They're the most common of all the family things you can get, whatever you want to call them. Then after that, the deeds and the bust stack in stacks of 6. They're the second rarest. And then after that, portraits are the most rare. I'm just looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I could drop the skeleton key, and I mean, the next room could have a treasure chest in it. Then what am I gonna do? If it doesn't, I'll miss out on 1,000 gold, whatever. I don't care. Nothing on the ground, right? Nothing on the ground, right? Nothing. I always look. I'm always so paranoid. Switch these guys. You know, not switch space. No, let's try it again. We're not in a fight. You can't tell me no when we're not even in a fight. All right, so she's poisoned out a little bit. She's okay. We're good for one more fight. If there even is one. Okay. It's an annoying last fight. My God. Alright, let's take out the backliners right now. I do not want to see any more stress in these guys. It's obnoxious. Alright. You will stun somebody. Giving everybody the power buff. Man, that has silently been the... I don't think people realize Powerful has been the... Awesome. It is the reason. Now, you could make an argument that it wouldn't have been as close if we got Powerful early, that's great. But we also did get that unlucky trap that happened that caused her to be paranoid, so that's been kind of offsetting it. But I'm telling you, Powerful has been doing a lot in the back line, or behind the scenes, and it's an unsung hero. Everybody's been getting an extra 15% damage every round, and then they'll sometimes stack it twice to 30. My God. That's crazy. Oh, that's unfortunate. Alright, so we'll go ahead and just increase our damage the rest of the fight. Okay, you're doing a real like that. Well, one wasn't a miss, but it was a... He didn't stun. Whatever, she's already over the top. You can't stress her any further than that, really. She's not going to get a heart attack. We're not even close to that many. We're again... What, did you just cut yourself or bleed yourself? Why would you... It looked like he bled himself. That was weird. Let's just knock out these two front guys. We're going to accept that we're going to take a lot of damage from this big spear. It is what it is.
Precision and power.
Cool, cool. It's the first time he's done something like that. You're going to stop. Oh, that's fine. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Bleed him out. Alright. Yeah, these guys are craving pretty bad here. We gotta finish this soon. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Them craving is actually putting an extra layer of stress on me because I don't want to die mid-fight because of a craving. We gotta finish this. What's the fastest way to do that? He can be stunned, but he probably won't be. Let's use her to heal everybody. We probably need to. Everybody's lower than they should be. Let's try to stun the bad guy, the big guy.
A singular strike.
Oh, I thought when you crit, you just almost guaranteed a stun if it's an ability that has stun. Maybe I'm just wrong with that.
Death
15?
waits for the slightest lapse.
See what I mean?
In
Like that pig spear is
concentration.
big. All right, we're gonna go ahead and try to finish off the Pathfinder. Now that's a lot of damage. It is. It's a lot of damage. It makes you think you gotta kill that guy. You gotta kill that guy. But he didn't kill us. Or like, I have a vessel. She's gonna heal everybody. If anybody goes on death's door, whatever. It's not like he's bleeding us. It's annoying, but I mean, it looks flashy. It's a lot of damage, but it's not like this is our last fight. Whatever. What's this? He doesn't have stun resist. Just stun this dude. Come on. Nice. Nope. Don't care. Shut up. All right. Heal. I can heal everybody, or I can stun the bad guy. Does he have stun resist? He doesn't. Just stun him out. We want to kill these guys. I don't care about healing. We just win the game. We're almost done. All right. He's blighted out. I could just kill him, right? He's got 6. Well, he's going to die on his own in the next 2 rounds because he's got blight and he's stunned this round. So his next 2, he's just going to die. Let's try to kill the big boy. Oh, missed. That sucks. It's all right. Yeah, you don't matter. You're going to die on your own terms anyway. Bleed you out. All right. I guess now I'll go ahead and heal everybody. Or you don't want to be healed. Shoot. Paranoia. That's 3 times this
Wounds
whole
of war can
mission.
be
She said no to
healed,
healing.
but never hidden.
All right, now he triggers his powerful. Man, that is crazy. All right. I'm not going to get the stun. That's fine. Because he had resistance to it. All right, what are you going to do? Trot? Trot retreat's fantastic. I'm not going to give him another fight anyway, or another attack anyway. All right. Heal everybody here. Or I guess I could just kill him. Just kill him. 1 damage is not a lot, but just hit him for as much as you can. In this guy. Into him. He's going to die from blight, right? Oh, yeah, he's already dead. He just doesn't know it yet. Oh, okay. Let's get rid of some stress, I guess. And see, this thing in the back, too. I think this thing in the back, actually, let's remove some stress, right? We could kill him, but why? Just remove some stress when you can. And a crit. Look at that.
Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
Okay, so this is funny. Give it and take it away, right? We dropped the sapphire earlier. That was 1,000 gold we lost on the hope that we would find a treasure chest. We never found a treasure chest, but we got our gold back, so we'll take the gold here. Now, the keys are a wash. They're worthless. The crests, are they good? Well, the crest, again, there's 6 of these. In my estimation, a stack of 12 crests is the same thing as 3 portraits. So it's a ratio of 1 to 4. 1 crest, or 4 crests are worth 1 portrait. So this is worth 1.5 portraits. So we don't want to get rid of a portrait stack. Similarly, this is worth, I'd say, probably 3 busts or so, like half the stack of that, or half the stack or whatever. So 6 busts are worth 12 crests, so this is not worth that. Is it worth more than gold, though? We would rather have this than the gold. That's an argument you could make. And you could also, if you really wanted to gamify it, you could say half a stack of gold, half a stack of crests. This is actually more than half a stack of gold. It's probably better than crests. You could also make the argument that it's probably better than just the lucky dice, but I do actually think the lucky dice are good. It's not +4 accuracy, -4 dodge like a lot of items are. It's actually +4 on both because it's a jester-only item. It's a good baseline item to give your jester, so I'll probably not throw it away. Is there anything, I don't know, what would you guys, you say you are full, that chest won't give you anything you could take? Yeah, you say that, but the thing about it is you could throw away. Like, let's say it gave me a stack. Well, let's say I got lucky and got like a high roll and got like a rare item. I could switch it out with like the Jester's dice. I could switch it out with, you know, something else. There are situations where it can be better. Plus, there is also the rare situation where maybe you get like, you know, 2 sapphire or something. That kind of stuff can trigger. We're talking margins here, of course, but I don't know. I mean, looking at what's sitting here, I think I'd rather just have the lucky dice than the crest. There's no guarantee I'm going to see lucky dice again for a while, even though they're not that great. But it does give me an item to give my damn Jester, who has nothing. I think we just stick with what we have. I want the crest, but we're going to get more of these as we go. And I did just spend a bunch of gold. Continuing adventuring. I'm just going to see what's on this table. Oh, food. And some money. Look at that. All right. Almost capped out our money there. Oh, eat it. I guess. You can't take it with you. You normally can, but I don't have space, so... All right, we're out of here. That was a heck of a haul, guys.
Some experiments should have never happened. You are doing just work ending them.
Look at that. 1,300 gold, which is basically offset what we paid for the blasphemous vial we bought for our Plague Doctor. And then we also got in it like a lot of portraits. Having 14 portraits is crazy, guys. Like the math on that, like we were talking about before, finding 14 portraits mathematically here, I guess, would be the equivalent of finding 56 crests. Yeah. Like that's a lot of portraits. That's like an upgrade and a half to multiple different things in our base. The Eldritch Slayer ring is going to be good forever. We got some extra busts here too. This was a good haul. I mean, it should be, right? I think it was a medium mission at apprentice level, which is the hardest thing we've done so far by far. The only things, we've done some medium missions and we've done some, I think we did like one apprentice mission, but it was a short. So of course it should be, but that was good. So what we get? All right, so Centerpot hit level 2. Did not get any new abilities, which is not bad, not good. We don't really care because she's already locked in 2 good abilities. We don't care about that. That's fine. All right, here. Just got a little warning from YouTube saying that YouTube is not receiving enough information to maintain something about a stream. I hope it's not messing anything up. That would be really unfortunate. Yeah, we'll see. All right, I guess you guys can tell me whether or not you see like a lag in my stream or something like that. I don't think it does. Seems like it's fine. Whatever. All right, let's see what we got at our rolls. Gifted, plus 20% healing received. That's kind of funny. I don't usually like that, but it's actually funny. It would actually be pretty good. The way I played Reynold, he's been healing himself, and Rome's been on the team every time he's been there, so it might actually be useful. Gifted's not great. It's okay. Gifted is like, really, you only want Gifted to be rolled on, like, your Vestal, because the Vestal just accidentally healed herself while she heals everybody else. I think Gifted is okay on a few characters. I think Gifted is sneakily okay on the Abomination, because the Abomination transforms, and then when he does, he heals every time. So it just accidentally heals him every time he transforms. So that's a good use of it. And he also has Absolution, which heals him as well. So Gifted's okay on him. It's also okay on the Leper for the same reason. He has a self-heal. Maybe Lick Wounds. I don't like it on... Well, I guess Gifted's not terrible on the Flagellant. But I think there's much better things you could roll, that like things that help him deal more damage when he's close to death's door. I think I'd rather have that. You are, oh yeah, it's dropping packets every now and then. I got to figure out what's going on with that, because I am recording my webcam this way. I'm surprised it is. It might be an internet issue. I don't know. We'll have to see. Or what do we got for Dismas? Dismas got Cystiomania, obsessed with food. So he probably would have interacted with any of the Curios. That doesn't sound terrible, but it's slightly annoying. Rome, what'd you get? Photomania! Guys! That's incredible, especially after... I think she had Photomania when we first started, and she re-rolled and got, like, some, like, hitter thing. Photomania is incredible! That's, in my opinion, like, in my estimation, one of the best perks you can get. Like, in anybody. Because you always want to keep your torch above 75%. like as much as you can, because it gives you the best, chance of winning, at least for 90% of the mission, right? Maybe the last mission you let it go dim so you can have an epic finish that maybe grants you a higher roll on final items. But Votamania is great, big fan. Fast healer, so you're like, oh, but she's a healer. Remember what fast healer does though? Fast healer increases like the healing you get at camp. Mediocre, my opinion. That was a good mission. I had a really good roll there on her too.
Women and men, soldiers and outlaws, fools and corpses. All will find their way to us now that the road is clear.
So this is the reason, I talked about this in a previous episode, and it's events like this. These random town events that trigger that are positive is exactly why you want to go deal with that early on. Town is a buzz. Even though it's annoying, you gotta go deal with that crocodilian, and even though it might make order, you can see a splash art or a bunch of little images of characters, right? You can see like there's a houndmaster, there's a leper, there's a plague doctor, a bunch of dudes hanging around, extra guys hanging around the stagecoach. So there should be more recruits this time. Look at how many recruits there are. I mean, my gosh. Look, we got Sinbad, we got Scorpion, we got Sub-Zero. We got Terry Crews. We got, I don't know, G.I. Jane. We got Uncle Phil. And then we got, I don't know who this guy is. Maybe the guy from Priest. But look at this. Like, this is crazy. This is a lot of people to choose from. Oh, and we got 2 more people down here. Tangsock? I thought it said Tanganese for a second. And we got Belay or Belly. Belly. I think Belly's probably be an annoying name for that person. Don't call me Belly. That's what my parents used to call me. But these all actually, we're not going to look at these right now. That's way too much. This will be the very first thing we probably do when we come back in the next video. But the last few videos I've made, I've gone down and done one mission, and I think that's actually a good speed to do these things. So I think I'm going to wrap that up here. But we will come back, and that'll be the first thing we do when we come back next episode. We'll look at that. I mean, as I said, we'll go out here and look at the missions that are next first. You can see here, look. I said this before. The Warrens is now level 2, which means a boss. We'll talk about what that boss is next time we come. We're not going to spoil any of that, right? That'll be for the next episode. But you can see when you hit the next tier, a boss will spawn. It's dropping packets every now and then. Oh, yeah, you already said that. I guess maybe I just saw something trigger over there. But anyway, that's going to be it for me for tonight. I have some work to do when we come back. We need to make sure that we remove all the trinkets before we do that. Though, we'll sort by rarity here. We will come back next time, and we will be a little bit more powerful, as always. We'll look at trying to knock some of these diseases off of our characters and get rid of the stress on Centerpont, who did a very good job on a mission that she was not supposed to be at. But you can kind of see how Luminous and Hot to Trot are pretty powerful there, as well as Winded. And yeah, the next episode we will incrementally push a little bit more. Whether or not we go do this next mission or not remains to be seen. We might. If we do, that'll be the main focus of the video, and I think that's what I'm going to use, or what I'm going to do, govern my decisions moving forward. Unless the video has an enormous amount of cool stuff that happens in the video, I probably won't worry for this game because it's a lot of editing. I probably won't worry about editing a full video on my other channel that's highly edited, unless I'm going up against a few bosses or something really cool happens. That'll make it less of a chore for me to do it, make it more fun, and then I'll actually be able to put more effort into them and make them more exciting. Plus, I've also had some feedback from some friends about what I should do for those videos too, because sometimes they've said I cut a little too aggressively, if they're a little too fast, and it's hard to tell what's going on for a person that's not native to the game, which I can totally respect. So I need to kind of think about that and reflect about what they've said. So, but yeah, I think that's it for tonight. So thanks for tuning in. I appreciate your time. Again, you could be anywhere, but you're here. I appreciate that. It's cool of you. I'll say 2 real quick things here. First thing is, if you like this video and you want to see more content like this, you can go to the Blue Titan Space Gaming Space VODs on YouTube, or check out my Twitch if that's what you're watching right now. Or you can go over to the Blue Titan Space Gaming without the word VODs as a separate word at the end, for shorter, tighter content that's highly edited, between 10 and 20 minutes is my current goal, as well as shorts that'll hopefully increase discoverability and let people kind of see what we're doing over here. So, but yeah, that's going to be it for me for tonight. And if you like the video, give it a like, thumbs up, share it. Honestly, share it with somebody if you think it's actually worth it to do. I've been realizing here recently, I've talked to some of my family and friends. I've had some old family friends, as well as some students I used to teach, kind of find out about this and be like, oh, I didn't even know it existed. I'm like, well, I should probably advertise a little bit more. It just feels a little inauthentic and a little foreign for me. And I don't want to knock other people that do it, because I get why they do it. It's just a little odd for me to do it. Just need to get over it and stop talking about it. So that's just kind of part of the whole thing. So, but again, thanks for your time. Until next time, I'm the Blue Titan, and don't get killed by a grok, I guess, or a bad crit. Bye.